may not kiss the bride.
Welcome everyone to the Roses Are Red podcast with my beautiful co-host Sam I Am and my amazing friend AC. You are still beautiful too, AC. We'll tell you you're beautiful too. Where we talk about everything. We go down rabbit holes. We talk about conspiracies and all different types of topics. But please don't take our word for it. Do your research on every topic that we do. And if you're a first-time listener, I hope you enjoy our podcast, and I hope you subscribe, hit the link, and share. Follow would be great. And if you're a returning person, thank you so much for coming back and hanging out with us again.
Indeed.
For sure. Yes. You have such a great voice there, Rose. You do. I'd be like, you got it.
Next time I buy a book, I'm going to be like, can you read this to me?
Yeah. Can you audiobook this for me?
Just read it. You know, there's certain people that have those voices that I love to listen to because I can fall asleep to it. Oh,
right.
I love that. I'm like,
I wonder who that is. I wonder who that might be.
There's a couple. Well, especially, I love your voice. I love both of your voices. But I know, AC, when you do your accents on certain things, I'm like, can you just read it in an audio form for me and just,
I wonder if the audience now knows your obsession with Jack Sparrow.
Oh, I know. Something with pirates. I can't help myself.
I mean, I get it.
Right, pirate, yeah.
Yes. Hope everybody had a wonderful week, a wonderful Valentine's. I hope you guys enjoyed it and had fun with your significant others.
What'd you guys do? How was your Valentine's Day?
My neighbor ended up just not doing so well. So that was we were outside.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
we were doing a show. Did you do anything special for Valentine's, AC?
No, we don't believe in it. We don't.
Yeah, we don't really celebrate it either.
No, it's a made up thing.
It is.
I love my wife every single day, and I treat her like the biggest queen I can provide. And since I do that, I feel no problems in telling her that day's overpriced. Why would we pay for a $300 steak?
Right. No, that's how we are too. We don't celebrate that. We'll celebrate our anniversary. And again, we love each other every day. It doesn't matter. So yeah, I don't need a card. I don't need flowers.
Need validation. Like maybe like brand new relationships or relationships that are maybe on the brink, or like ones that need special attention. Maybe that every day kind of counts. You're like on thin ice, let me buy it. But I'm not coming home with a fucking thing. If it is, it's ironically. I'm like, look what I got you, bitch.
Right?
Gas station, ho. Happy man.
Yeah, like the very first Valentine's Day Dave and I had, he had him delivered to work, and it was a plush bouquet of stormtroopers surrounding Darth Vader. And I was like, okay, this is awesome.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
After that, though, we were like, fuck that. He was, we were only about a year in, so.
That works, but, he understands the humor. He understands the fandom, too. So
exactly.
If there's I don't know, there's a couple things that my wife knows to get me if she sees it, right? Mm-hmm. No matter what. Mm-hmm. And if there was like a Valentine's Day, like Tool thing, she would do that.
Oh, yeah.
Incidentally, I'm going to go see Tool on Sunday.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
Hello.
How you doing today? So yeah, we're going to see Tool at the T-Mobile Arena here in Vegas, which is where the Vegas Golden Knights play. And it's been a while. It'll be my 10th time. I haven't seen them in about 7 years. So
are you stoked?
Excited. Oh my god, it's church for me. It's like hearing all my 90s tunes that got me through so much bullshit, and his lyrics that just literally spoke to me and only me.
Sure.
And that's going to be it's like a soul reckoning. It's a beautiful thing. A lot of people are like, "Oh, you're such a fucking dork." I'm like, well, you have your thing, right? You go to therapy. I go to Tool shows.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense. Makes sense. Absolutely.
Definitely. So we have a couple updates on a couple of things. I think Gypsy Rose, we did that first episode on Gypsy Rose.
Sure did.
There is that came into light. There's a woman named Nancy that used to work for the Gypsy Rose family, and she did some digging, and the family ended up turning on Gypsy Rose, and
What?
all the doctors' notes, all the everything from court. She's got it all. So she's coming out because Nick, which is the ex-boyfriend that killed her mom,
Right.
is going to trial. He's going to trial. So that's going to be very interesting. There's a lot of the medical records she has. It's going to be coming out, so it's going to be interesting to play out. Now, from my understanding, is that Lifetime is now also going to do a new show on her, the after life of Josie Rose.
It's weird because for me, it's really weird for you to come out on charges of murder and then immediately go into a life of like full on publicity, TV shows. I feel like she always knew this, right? Like she always felt like she was gonna be primed. Like as soon as I get out, I'm gonna be a fucking TV star. Who was getting hi?
Hey,
What's up?
Jamie.
Who put her up to this? I guess is my question. She could have done this alone, right? Like there was somebody on the inside, like talking to her from the inside, saying, "This is, we're going to sign these deals. This is going to be amazing." Was it a lawyer? Like who was that? I guess I missed that.
I don't know. I mean, I think it's kind of society as it is today. I mean, when something like this happens, I mean, it was so publicized before she went into jail, and then she goes into jail, and then, they've done all these documentaries about how, and her family her dad even like, I had no idea. I should have known. I feel really bad for this. But I mean, it is the society of the reality show, and let's just, put your everything on display afterwards. I mean, why not? I mean, she probably is like, why not make a dime off of my suffering? You know what I mean? I don't know.
Sure. What any of you, Rose, would you have like? I know it's going to be hard to put yourself in the shoes of somebody in for murder and then have the luck to come out, or like just the sheer like will for people to get you out of jail, right? People want you out. People are fawning over you, but like, would you be able to do that? Wouldn't you need like a time of like healing, like reintroducing yourself into society, instead of like, unless a sociopath is what I'm getting at. This is a literal sociopath.
I mean, she was raised to be a sociopath,
Right.
wasn't she?
So is there more to?
But apparently, according to what everybody's talking about, people that known her from school, the nurses, the doctors, the people that were outside her house, that she knew she didn't have a disability. Like she knew all this stuff from a certain young age. So then you start going into play. Was this all an act for you too? So you wouldn't be homeless. So you would have money.
Well, yeah. She even says
in how much of that mind capacity did she play along? Like, was this in cahoots with her mom and she just got tired of it, or
at one point you're an adult and now you know how old you are, so that's not an excuse anymore, right?
Well, I
Like,
mean, I think part of it is, I mean, she was indoctrinated. Her mom was like, "You're sick, you're sick, you're sick," even though she's like, "No, I'm not." And then her mom's like, "We're gonna pretend you're sick. We're gonna pretend you're, I'm gonna do all these horrible things, but play
yeah,
along. This gets us publicity."
no, I'm not. Yeah, you are.
You know, when you're a kid and you might be 12, but the 10 is the kids menu thing,
Right.
and your dad's like, "No, you're small enough. Pretend
9
you're 9 years old." You know what I mean? And you're like, "No, I'm not. I'm 12." Instead of
those 10
going, "Oh no, I'm not. I'm not ill. I'm well." She was like, "Oh, fuck it. We get all this shit. We get to go to Disney. I get to live my, make-a-wish fantasy." I mean, I think it's easy to play into. Now
and has that affected her now? Is she basically turning into Dee Dee because
I think so.
passed on, and then she's going to do it because now she's like, literally they just formed this perfect transformer of insane like manipulation and shit. Like it's
there's an interview.
Dee Dee's mom did it to Dee Dee. Dee Dee did it to Gypsy, and I think Gypsy. Hopefully, she never procreates.
And she wants to. And here's the other thing: is that there's a documentary with her and her husband, and every time her husband would say something, she squeezes his hand, and she's over there like telling him to shut up, like, "Okay, you're done talking." And that is also like going, okay, well, are you doing the same thing now to your husband? Or, or is there something more behind the scenes that we don't know? That's coming out to play now more and more because all her followers, everybody is turned on her now. A lot of followers. She's lost a lot of things that they've turned on her. And she does talk about how she wants children. She wants a family. I don't know, like normally sometimes when people have been locked up for so long, when they come out, they feel because everything is so new to them, to the world, they have new technology things, they feel isolated. She's not she doesn't feel isolated. Like she's like out there, take me
Feels good as fuck.
shopping. Yeah. And that's kind of concerning.
Well,
I
she's
have a lot
kind
of
of
questions.
Yeah, she's kind of like that kid that was had those real strict parents. You know what I mean? And she, well, I mean, technically she is, but you know how when you're really restricted, and then all of a sudden you get the freedom and you go fucking wild and you're doing drugs and whatever. Hers, you know what I mean? She,
I went to college.
yeah,
Everything inside of you can't.
my me at 18. But it's kind of like that. But she was groomed to be. She was groomed to be Dee Dee. You know what I mean? Even though she knew it was wrong, really, Dee Dee has been so in her mind that she was groomed to be that way. And I think she's going to continue on unless she gets serious help. And I don't think she even thinks she needs it. I don't know.
I mean, I have so many questions that I didn't see anybody who interviewed her. Like, where was she getting the money? Where was she hiding? Because if her mom was so controlling, as she says, right? She had lingeries, wigs, sexual toys. Where was she hiding all this? Where was she getting the money? Where, if her mom broke her laptop, where did she get the money to get a new laptop? Where did she get the money for the phone? Where did she? All these questions, nobody's asking them. I'm like, why?
And my question is, nobody went like she had several. Sorry, my dog was like. She had several accounts, like Facebook accounts, where she met people and had these like pseudo, relationships. Like she never looked through that. She had her own shit. Like that's the number one. If I'm trying to be a fascist on somebody and trying to lock them down, that's the first thing they don't have is of thinking to the outside world. Like that was careless on Dee Dee's part.
Yeah.
Well, and here's the thing. How do you know to go to the bathroom, go do the hoo-ha, and your mom not check up on you? Because your mom's so controlling that she wouldn't let you go anywhere. Why didn't the mom catch her then?
A lot of questions I would like to ask Dee Dee today.
Mm-hmm. But she's dead now.
Is she? Is she though? Is she though? More on next week's episode.
She was reborn, incarnated. Now she's Gypsy Rose.
I just killed. Oh, damn it. So, yeah, no, I was just looking up a couple things and you got me by surprise because a couple weeks ago I did see like some updates on Nick and how he went. He's kind of crazy and he's like acting up in jail. So I'm trying to find the exact one there. But let's talk about this page that we have here. Let's play this. Let's play this TikTok.
Let's do that.
Where are you? Oh, got lost there for a second. TikTok. There you go. Let's play that.
New evidence against Gypsy Rose has been released, and what I'm about
You hear that?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
to read to you may shock you, and it appears that the entire Gypsy Rose story may have been a lie. So some of this evidence has been brought to light for Nick Godejohn's new trial, but Fancy, who worked with the family for years, when she started digging for more answers, the family turned on her, and she has access to all of Gypsy's medical records and all of the court information, so she's now releasing all that information to prove to everybody that Gypsy is lying. Okay, so the document reads: on January 27, 2016, I was notified by Springfield Police Department computer forensic analyst Michael Castillo in reference to audio-video footage located involving Gypsy Blanchard. The audio-video was 15 minutes long. In this audio-video footage, Gypsy appears in what looks like a black and colored jacket with a red wig, addressing it to Nicholas from Gypsy, calling him sir, she states. Hi, sir. This is Ruby, and I'm making this video as an introduction video, Gypsy admits. Ruby is the most evil side of Gypsy stated in this video. She likes to get in trouble and she's not sorry when she gets caught.
Hold on. This is the first time I hear them refer to some kind of a multiple personality disorder.
Well, she alluded to that, and what was it that I watched on that, or what we saw on that? She alluded to that. She had said that she put on this alternate because Nick was supposedly had multiple personality disorder,
He was a
and
bum.
so his guy, who it was his evil guy, was the one who supposedly killed Dee Dee, and he had to bring out that guy. So I think she doesn't have multiple personality. I think she made up that personality to be like, oh, me too. Look,
Yeah.
we're the same. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
I think it's a fake
My
one.
mom. We're same. Kill my mom.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Okay. So okay, cool. So this guy definitely has. Well, I don't know if it's taking on a persona
Mhm.
is not having multiple personality disorder.
Correct.
So you can't have an alter and then blame everything on them. You know,
Right.
which is really asinine.
I think he may truly have had multiple personality disorder, and she was playing into that. Like, oh, let me
Throwing
pretend.
gasoline on it. Yeah.
Yeah,
You
that's exactly it.
want this shit? You better be a vampire.
Exactly.
Gypsy stated her caring was broken, and she was not scared of law enforcement, but she would be scared of Nicholas's evil side. Gypsy stated that she would do anything with Nicholas, to include schmurder and grape. If at any time a girl tried to become his girlfriend, she would unalive them with pleasure. And there would be lots of GORE and BLOOD. And if a girl was trying to get with Nicholas for you know what,
He's not well, bro. Look at that face.
No, he's
No.
not.
And he was
Oh.
just
Poor kid. She
Yeah.
used and abused him. I think she'd shoot him up and spit him out.
absolutely. And you would think that the other way around. It's like, let me go prey on this girl with Munchausen's, and this guy came out fucking more fucked up than he went in.
Yeah, she was groomed to manipulate, and she saw Mark and was like, "Oh, you're the guy. I can take your mental illness and use it to my advantage."
Right. Well, no offense, girls. I know my co-hosts are women, but women are smarter. They have a tendency, as told to me by Rose, to look at everything, pick everything apart, think about it 4 times, and you're very analytical, just like intrinsically. So we're not. We're just idiots. We're just dumb. We just
Well, he just saw getting his dick wet.
Right.
And so some of these comments, though, now this seems like the story,
Mhm.
right? It does.
It does.
Waiting for people to hear what people in prison have to say about her. I have said before she would still be in jail. So people are like kind of turning. They're not really on Team Gypsy anymore. I think people were totally on Team Gypsy in the beginning, and then it's like, whoa.
I am surprised he got more time than she did. I'm surprised she's out already, to be honest.
I'm telling you, that's what I meant in the beginning, was like that court of public opinion. Like everybody wants you out.
Mhm.
That weighs like even more so than
It does.
courts and lawyers.
Well, and he said, like in his story, he only says he knew exactly where he stabbed her, and he only stabbed her. He says, I think it was like 3 or 4 times. She was stabbed, what, like 16 times or something like that?
I forgot. Yeah,
I'm sure there was some
Yeah.
rage that came out with with Gypsy. You know what I mean?
for sure.
So,
Absolutely. Yep.
So it'd be interesting to see how this plays out. I'll keep you guys posted on this from where it goes,
Mhm.
and keep you getting some more updates as soon as I get them.
For sure. And we'll put this on the back burner because this is interesting. It's ongoing, and this guy deserves some eyes on him because he looks like he'll strike again. Vampire style.
Good.
I wouldn't want him as my neighbor, that's for sure. That's for
Feed.
sure.
Needs to
Not
feed.
somebody I'd want there, but definitely.
So that's what it is, and that's the update for now. And there's a couple other ones I'll dig up for the next update because there's some shit that he's doing in jail that's kind of crazy.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and I'll bring those up. But yeah,
Sweet.
Awesome. So our next topic tonight is a story I've been following for a long time, since 2014, when it actually came out on, I believe it was Lifetime.
Mhm.
It was the Escaping Polygamy. I've been following these 3 of the girls. Jessica was one of the oldest that escaped from the Kingston family. And they had this TV show and they talked about it. And I've been, like I said, since 2014, I've been following this little by little. And it talks, you have the Kingston family was a big cult. It's another cult. Like, I don't even know how I want to say
It's a cult.
Be careful with,
And mind you,
labeling
everybody, yeah, right. Please don't take our word for it. Do your research. These are
Yeah.
these are opinions and what we think of
Rose, we live on the West Coast. I know plenty of Mormons. I don't want to come on and say that they're a cult right away. We're going to show you cult-like features.
Well, I think the sects of that have plural wives and the polygamy sects of, and that's SECTS sectors.
Yep.
Sorry, I'm not saying sex, but
Yep.
I mean there's sex in there.
There's a lot of-
Yeah. But what I think those branched off, extremists of the Latter-day Saints are more cultish. I don't know. You can't really say being a Mormon is, but I mean, but the extreme, I think there's extremes to everything that could be called a cult. So and there's common threads through Scientology, through this. I mean, I've been looking at a whole bunch of stuff, but there's always a common thread of, power and
I think power. I think you nailed it right there. I think power is
power.
at the crux of this because tale as old as time.
Mhm.
A couple of people, and I'll tell you because I have a YouTube short that I found that's really interesting, kind of talking about polygamy and saying how it actually was throughout human history the norm, right? And this is like wow, am I really doing that with my internet? That sucks. So that's really the norm is like has always been a plurality of wives, always. So this is actually something new that we've tried out in democracies back from the Roman times. That's when monogamy really came into being, where you're just with one person. Because prior, it was a classist thing where at the top, the kings, noblemen, people who had high status, money, they would have multiple wives because they had multiple options. As the classes went down to your normal everyday Joe, maybe we had one. We're lucky to do that. So it was the options pool was way less. So if you got one, great, fantastic. Now the options are a lot more. I wonder if today it wouldn't be the same thing with our oligarchs and billionaires. If it's not like polygamy has gone away. It's just called adultery.
Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, it's not you're marrying you know what I mean? You don't have multiple wives now, but it is always skewed to the male. It's not, I mean, a woman's not allowed to have multiple husbands typically, you know what I mean? But that's because the male's going to spread a seed and populate the earth. And I think that's where that's where it started, there's only a few people. Let's, spread my seed everywhere I can. And now I've got a bunch of kids and now there's more people on the earth. But
and that's why these are my sisters, because we're all related.
right. But I mean, now we don't need to populate anymore. There's too many people. No, I'm just joking. But but, and again, it's not, you don't have all these wives, but yeah, there are, people that cheat and that's technically not illegal, but having multiple, marriages is. So
Now
legal marriages, yeah.
there is a good movie that's out. I mean, not movie, a series on Netflix. It's a little, but it goes back to the polygamy because I don't know if you guys have seen it. It's called the Handmaid's Tale, and it kind of goes with the wives couldn't have children, so they had somebody that substitutes. That to me would be no. I couldn't. No.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't want to jump too far ahead, but I've in watching some of the, the polygamy cells of the Latter-day Saints, the Kingston Clan, or the FLDS, the fundamentalists.
And Jeff, your old Jeff.
Warren Jeffs, yes.
Warren,
yes. But shoot, I had a thought. Where did it go? Shit. Oh, one of the wives. Okay, so sorry. I was watching that Stay Sweet uh show on Netflix about the Warren Jeffs, the fundamentalists, and um it starts off with a couple and they're sitting there. They've been married. They were high school sweethearts. And then he decides, oh, I'm going to go into the fundamentalists. And she goes, and Warren's dad, I can't remember, Roland, yeah,
Roland.
yes, said, here, I've given you this new wife and you're going to marry tonight. And she goes, I didn't want him. I didn't want to share her. And she talked about, he goes, life was great. One wife lived downstairs, the other wife lived upstairs. And she goes, it wasn't great. I didn't like it. I did not want to share you. And, and that's kind of the crux of it. He's like, sure, I've got two women that I can bang all the time. We've got all these kids. And she's like, no, I loved you. You were my high school sweetheart. And now you want somebody else. I don't want to share, you know, I just,
Oh yeah.
and she had no choice.
But they look like the cutest little couple.
Yeah.
Right? They look like cute little, it's just like they're just sitting on the chair, like,
Yeah.
you just almost
So
like
you
on a
saw it
rocking
too.
chair, like
Yeah.
I did. I was like, man, they look so sweet. So
Yet
like
she's still there. I'd be like,
I would have left.
yeah.
I don't like to share. No.
When Dave and I got together, I looked at him and I said, I don't share. He goes, are you asking me out? I said, yes, because I don't share. You better get rid of everybody you've been seeing up until now. And, if you want to be with me, it's just me. And he goes, okay. And he called them all the next day. I mean, we weren't serious at that point, but at that, I knew I wanted him and only him, and I'm not going to share. Just can't do it.
I just don't get it. Like, the sharing part and being okay with it, or one night with you, one night with somebody else.
Well, even
No.
with Roland, I mean, he had 20 some wives, and they would line up at night to go give him a kiss, and he'd pick one for the night to go have sex with him, and these girls didn't even know, what sex was until they thought you got pregnant by kissing. And then he's like, oh, here, now I'm going to, have sex with you. And they had no idea what was going on. Those poor women, and young
Yeah.
girls, 18, 19 years old,
Even younger.
Yeah. Even younger.
It's, and the stuff that the way that they were taught, because there was a book that they had to read. And in that book, all it talked about, they were just baby making mamas.
Mhm.
They had to look a certain way. Their hair had to be done a certain way. They all wear, what was it, like blue dresses?
Mhm.
I think it was
Yep.
something very like
Plain.
pilgrim.
Yeah, very yeah, very much Amish, pilgrim, whatever. But it's to be, simple and for their husband only. And I mean, that Roland Jeffs was in his 80s and was taking 19-year-old brides, and they were like, this is disgusting.
Mhm.
This is so gross. I didn't like it.
No, and the fact that some of these women were so brainwashed. They were so like I don't know. I think there would have been a point, like, I don't know, when your wife 53,
Mhm.
maybe yeah, maybe I don't want to be here anymore, because
But what if? But hold on. There's a lot of beliefs in all types of different cultures that make you think about going through with these things, because there's no way you're going to get into the afterlife. So if everything depended on it, if every single thing depended on you getting to heaven, and everybody around you believes the exact same thing, and you were taught this from a child, you're absolutely going to, at 12, marry that guy so he can show you the way, and in the doctrine. And we'll talk about what this is, what the LDS is, and
Right,
why
yeah.
kind of in the short time that we have. But like, you don't get into heaven unless you have three wives.
Right.
Like,
And it's the
at least.
men, and they get exalted, and they can make universes and galaxies. But the women, they get to be wives and have babies again in heaven.
Well, it looks like to me like you ladies are pretty salty.
Yeah. You know what? Maybe we
Deal
need
with
to take a shot on that
Yes,
note.
let's do that.
Maybe I have an idea.
Yes.
You guys go make a sandwich.
Oh. You know what? I'm gonna remember that, because we're gonna be out there in about 3 weeks.
Yes.
I'm gonna ask you to go make me a sandwich.
Make me a sandwich.
I mean, the inequality between sexes is ginormous in these.
It's more like they're almost like Muslim.
Yeah,
It's almost like a Muslim
very
thing. I
much.
guess
Yeah,
Yes.
it's just you guys
I
breeding machines,
they have to have
and you got
baby every year.
morality with you. And here's a question before we take a shot.
Yes.
Think about it while we're drunk. Does this fucking basic ass white boy, can he fuck all those chicks?
He
He
does.
cannot.
apparently
No, he
he
does
had
not.
to.
One a
He
night.
had to. He was having
Okay,
babies.
yeah. Like once, and then what?
Well, he's got 23
no.
fucking wives. He's got one every night, and he's got to rotate every 23 days for the, I mean, honestly, for the woman, at least she only has to have sex every 23 days or so.
But remember, they were supposed to have babies back to back. So the minute
Every
that the
year.
women had a baby, they
Every
had
year.
to have a baby every year. So he was, come on now, he was,
Spreading his seed.
yeah,
Be
because
with
some of
me.
them had like 300 children. Didn't the Kingstons have like
Yes.
over 300 children?
Kingston's, yeah, guy does.
I'm gonna put my seeing glasses on in a moment, and it's gonna be on with the info. But I can tell you from the bottom of my soul, if I had 23 wives, I couldn't. There's nothing you could like. First of all, I mean, I guess nobody's nagging at that point. Could you imagine 23 people nagging you, or like 23 husbands going? I don't want to do garden work on Sunday. I don't want to work in the
That's
car.
the thing, though. The husbands
I mean?
don't have any responsibility except for making money and running the businesses. They in the Kingston clan, the women live in their own apartments. They don't all live together. They raise their kids in almost squalor and have barely any money. In the FDLS, the fundamentalist group, they all would live under one. Huh?
Which is different than the LDS.
It is. The fundamentalists is a polygamy sect of the LDS.
Right. That's where we're not talking shit about Mormons.
No.
More talking
We're
about these people.
the radical groups of polygamy that have branched off. But in that, it looks like, from what I saw, they all lived in the same house. You know what I mean? And all the women would line up every night to kiss their husband, and he'd be like, "You're staying with me tonight. Better take your panties off."
What's your name again?
Exactly.
And not only that, they were raised at the age of 5. They had to go work for their businesses or anything that they had, but they made no money. Now, as of making no money at the age of 30, the women were told you would not have no money. There's no retirement. There's no social security, no medical coverage, nothing, or for their children, no respect. They lost their self-esteem by then.
Mm-hmm.
So they'd had nothing. They were, by the age of 5, they were just done.
Yeah, as a woman, you're bred to be a wife to somebody. As a boy, well, even like the Kingstons, if you're a good-looking kid and you're not an actual Kingston, they're gonna kick you out because they don't want the competition for the old guys.
Well, that, and they don't want that. We're back to suppressive people, right? From Scientology, suppressive people around you are going to make you doubt your existence. There's an outside world over there, right? Like, that we can just cross the street and we can get a burger. Like, it doesn't have to be this way, right? So if you put it in such plain terms, people are gonna be like, "What?" Enough of those people, you get uninitiated, and thus people make the exodus out.
Yeah.
Imagine, I would be wary of anything you want to join, any organization, any club you want to join, where they tell you we need more of them at a drastic rate. Like, your only job is to make babies because we need more soldiers. Like, I'm probably not going to join that.
No.
You know,
I've been born into that. Then I have no choice. You know what I mean?
Lottery. Yeah.
It sucked. It would be. Well, yeah. I would hate to be. If I was a mother in that group, and then I understand why. Like the girls want to leave, especially when they have baby girls. They don't want their girls growing up that way. They don't want their girls to marry a 42-year-old uncle. I mean, it's it's incest for one.
And then they had to pick. They had to have, like, at the age, I think it was like at 13, they had to pick 10 suitors that they thought possibly they would want to marry. Well, they would say, okay, these are my 10 suitors, and be like, well, don't worry. Why do you have to wait until you're 16? Let's just get it done and over with now and pick one of these guys for you. And they would pick some old person that had nothing that was in her list. And then the people that she thought that she
had a choice.
Yeah. And those guys that she thought that she was going to maybe possibly marry, they would kick them out. because they were a threat to the older men.
Of course,
Yeah.
it's kind of like a pride of lions, reverse pride of lions, where it's you're protecting the old guys,
Mhm.
but young guys come around. It's like kill him,
Right.
get rid of this fucking usurper. You know, a guy who's kind of come to take my crown, my harem of 13-year-old white girls.
Right.
That's all I want. Like, what are you? Are you kidding me? Now?
Are we doing shots?
Right.
Fuck,
Yes.
I'm so
Cheers.
Let's do
that he's
this.
fucking idiot.
Cheers.
Oh, and for the fourth show in a row, suck it. So I have a question for you guys, and then I'll move on to the information.
Yes.
We're gonna talk about what the FLDS is, what child. I can't say any of those words, but what. Notice how that TikTok said graping.
Yeah.
That's what I like. Graping and
We gotta.
and murdering. So, we won't go into that, but we'll go into the child marriages and at what age that goes into. So we might need another shot for that. But I have a question for you both.
Mhm.
Have you ever been married? And you don't have to answer this, or no, not married. Have you ever cheated on someone?
No.
Yes, but it was a long time ago.
Sure.
Yes,
And I
I've
asked
been
that,
cheated on.
I've been
but
cheated
not-
on as well.
yeah, who hasn't? All of those people have brought a sense of, and you're closer to polyamory, polygamy, a plurality of lovers than we think. Because when you think, I didn't think of that, right? When I started looking at what it is to love different people or love whatever that means, right? To say that we're all together like a throuple or something like that. I mean, I started thinking that that's more prevalent. That all of that is the tiers, and once again, it's a spectrum of stuff, right? Monogamy, polygamy, and like all that kind of stuff. So I think we're closer to it than we think. Adultery is really the new polygamy. I want to see
Kind of. I mean, in a way.
In a way. But
I mean, there are people who are
Onward.
polyamorous and have that arrangement, and that's what they do.
spectrum.
But
Everybody's-
cheating or
everyone's in agreement.
adultery. Pardon?
Everyone's in agreement with that. Oh man, why does it do
Yes, they are like, this is our thing. This is what we do. When you're cheated on, I expected to be monogamous, and then all of a sudden, oh, we're not. You know what I mean? In polygamy, in a way, the first wife who wasn't told we were in polygamy that's kind of what it is. They have to do it and like it, not like it, but pretend they do because that is the way. But I don't know.
I hear you.
I mean,
And it doesn't go
my
both way. I guess what kills me is the inequality of it all, right?
That's what I was gonna bring it back to. I was gonna say yes,
Okay.
and the main difference is that you don't have a choice there, right?
Yes.
It sounds very House of the Dragons, yes. Except there's fucking no dragons whatsoever. And,
I know,
you know,
that'd be way cooler.
yeah, nobody's the king of anything. And but
Well, I asked my father-in-law all the time. My father-in-law, he's Muslim, and I always ask him because in the Muslim culture, you're allowed to have 7 wives, and as long as they're all treated equally. And he always says, for us, it's because as we get older, we want the younger one to be able to take care of us as the couple. So as he always tells me, now it could be a whole different story as how he's explaining it to me, but that's what he's like, for them to take care of me and my wife, the younger one is expected to do that, as that's why they marry
I mean,
younger.
isn't that why we have kids? I'm joking.
Well, anybody wants you know what? This is a great drink.
don't you believe me?
I mean, I have kids to take care of me when I'm old. I'm
Right.
joking.
My kids are going to put me in a
Mine are
nursing home.
too.
They've already
Mine
said
are
it.
too.
They're like, Mom, you're
I
going.
told my mom,
We're not
I
going
know.
to take care of
I'm
you.
gonna drop you off at the nearest one, not even the best one, the nearest one.
The nearest one.
You know what? They'll probably drop me off in the corner for all I know at that point. They'll probably put me on a table with a little lemonade stand.
Where we're going. That is where we're going.
That's probably what they're going to do for me. That's as far as I'm going to go.
I know. My girls are like, screw you, Mom.
Right.
No,
I know.
I
But,
love you.
but it's
They'll stop.
interesting. So there's one thing I in that old couple the old couple, right?
Mhm.
They were in the TV series where she's like, but then he married this other person. At that point, why wouldn't you walk away?
It is your religion. If I told you to walk away from God,
But
would you
she
walk away
wasn't in
from
the
God?
religion though.
She was though. She was
What?
they were practicing Mormons, weren't they? I mean, they had to be.
Yeah.
And then he goes, "Oh,
Yeah,
we're going to join the fundamentalists. I'm going to get another wife." And she was
Mhm.
like, "Oh, okay." He goes, "But this
You
is
wanna
what
go
God
hard.
said to do. This is what the prophet said to do." The prophets are God on earth is what
God,
they say.
they're people that speak for God.
Yeah.
And that's I know it's crazy, right? But try to align it with your personal like religious beliefs and think of it like I always try to do that. And I don't have many religious beliefs. However, the ones that I do, I have morals and a moral compass, and my feet are firmly on the ground. However, it's hard to sometimes put yourself in other people's shoes. I don't have that. I don't have those ties to many things, so I don't have to. I don't have to like trick myself into thinking something else. I can just be like, okay, what if it was me? And I can't. It's unjustifiable, right? And I can't do that. However, when you look at your stuff and say, like, could I denounce God? What if this is all I knew? What if I was born into this? If you were smart enough and they just were like, well, it's not for you. I get it. Bye. Like, it's not that they're not doing that. Like, have a great day. Like, I hope you find love out there. No, it's like, you're not going anywhere,
No,
bitch.
and
Like, make me
they tell you
your
if you
example.
leave, you're going to hell. I mean,
I
Well, and the education, everything they had, like they had their books were all ripped, so they had nothing to the outside world
right.
to what to compare it to.
Sounds like a proper cult, doesn't it?
mhm.
Yeah, because
Fuck.
the Kingston family when they were in Utah, the Olympics. I can't remember what year it was. The Olympics was coming to
No,
Utah.
that was Jeff's. The Jeff's,
Oh, Jeff War.
the fundamentalist.
Warren
Yeah,
Duff.
And then they said, okay, the world's coming to an end. We have to move to somewhere else.
they moved the whole community.
And it went from like a population of like 2,000 to over 4,000 or something like that. I thought I saw.
Yeah, but and then when it didn't happen, he was like, "Oh, that was just a drill. Psych. You'll be prepared.
Never.
God wants you to be more into the doctrine, and you'll be more prepared next time. So when it does happen, then we're going to be on that piece of land that raises up from the earth, and we're going to leave everybody in the dust." Yeah,
Don't you worry. You just have.
You know what I came into my head? The Y2K.
Yeah.
Remember when everybody's like, the world's coming to an end.
Of course.
We all have to prepare, and
Yeah.
then nothing happened.
Mhm.
That's what I was thinking of.
Number one rule of making a religion or being a so-called prophet: you never ever say hard dates. You never ever do that. You're painting yourself into a corner.
Mhm.
You do vague, ambiguous stuff, even though your audience is like, nom, 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 nom. Tell me what date the world's going to end so I can see God. Like, a lot of people want to meet Jesus and they're very giddy about it. However, you never put a date on it because
No.
after that you have to fucking backpedal. Oh, it was said to me by someone who was a heretic, a suppressive person, an unbeliever. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Like, it's all characterized as these fucking people. It's all the same people.
Yeah.
It's all the same fucking people, no matter what hat they wear.
And they all look the same. The guys all look
They're
the same.
inbred.
Racist.
No, they're inbred. I mean,
No.
you can't have
Very-
that many children and expect. I mean, and they did. One thing I found very interesting in the Kingston clan, it was Eldon Kingston. He did work.
My best friend's names.
Oh,
I was like, oh, oh.
so he actually had a my funny sister, but he actually had a dairy farm, and he was experimenting with the cows with inbreeding them to make sure that they and what under the guise of science, but to make sure he could keep his bloodline pure. So he was doing different things to, knowing that I'm going to marry somebody so close to me. That I don't want them to come out with a disability. And so he took what he found on his farm and brought it back to the family. And that's why there's so many Kingstons. You know what I mean? That's why they are marrying family and stuff.
We need more. We need more Kings.
We have to keep that
But they also
bloodline
believe-
pure.
35. Yeah, I get new kids to
It
fuck.
is like the
that's great.
Targaryens. You know what I mean?
Make me more children so then they can marry me.
Right.
Yeah.
You fuck out of your mind.
Right.
you
I'm
imagine marrying your niece, your cousin,
well, which
your daughter?
hot
I
one?
mean, these are all of them. You're marrying
Are
all of
any
them.
of them hot? Well,
It doesn't matter. We're all gonna get
where did I
married.
write that down?
Well, and that was the other thing. They were ordered to be thin. They couldn't gain weight. They were
Right.
ordered to,
I mean, you have to
wear these.
be, attractive to your
Hey, May.
daddy
Mhm.
husband. I mean, he's got to find you attractive to put another baby in you. I mean, I'm
Right.
just saying,
But not me as the
No.
man. I can look like
a man could look however they want.
I look like a distended fucking white trash bag.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna lay on top of you and put my flaccid penis inside of you. And I'm the only man you've ever known. And we're gonna make babies. And your children, I'm gonna marry them. Fucking can't, man. Hey,
Hey, everyone. Welcome in, everyone.
Yes.
time and we have cake for cousin mama's birthday again. Well, enjoy it.
Well, and I find it funny how they all the kids call the wife. They're all a mom. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They all say, that mom such and such, mom this, and so they're all. I mean, I know they say it takes a village, but they, they had all these wives to raise all those kids. I don't know how they did it.
We're gonna have a quick like YouTube short later on of a doctor that kind of explains what polygamy is and makes the claim for that there are net positives and net negatives. But we'll talk about that in a little while because it's kind of interesting. It switches the whole fucking thing on you because you're like, what? What do you mean it's positives? Because you're like hating this shit, right? Like last week, fuck, hate the shit, and then you suddenly realize, oh right, you kind of have a little point. Like it's the way I go about it is horrible,
Yeah.
but like they do have a point, like to raise a village. That's right. It takes a village to raise a village of. Their eyes start getting closer together. They're fucking ugly, bro. We're gonna watch them soon. So to get people a little moist on what people do and what their beliefs are in a fun way, there's a small list of what Mormons believe, and we'll see which ones you guys know, which ones we don't. Guys in the audience, let us know if you guys know of any of these, or is this something new, right? So Mormons believe in eternal marriage, right? So the Mormon wedding ceremony is unique in a few ways, but it produces incredible results. Despite countless social programs, and divorce rate throughout the United States has remained extremely high for many years. Currently, the divorce rate among all is around 47 to 50%, depending on what statistic you cite. However, the divorce rate among Mormons who marry in a Mormon temple is far lower. This is obviously a Mormon, right?
6%. Yeah.
This is from Purpose in Christ. Yes. So they're going to spin it like, come. I like this, though, because their delusions are incredible. Yes. And then Mormons believe in Christ, Heavenly Father, and the Holy Ghost are separate things. So the Mormon belief is that God, Father, Jesus, and the Holy Spirit are three separate people who are one in their mission to bring out the salvation of all mankind.
That's different.
Kind of harkens back to Scientology, where it's like the salvation of all mankind. To be this delusional, to feel these feelings, to fuck your brother and cousin, you need to have some serious, powerful beliefs, right? This is a very powerful dream.
Yes.
So, third, the Book of Mormon says that Christ ministered to the whole world. So, in the Bible, John 10:16, which is a popular one, Christ explains that he is a good shepherd and that he will be killed. Then he says, other sheep I have which are not of this fold, and they shall all hear my voice. So Mormons believe that Christ, after his death and resurrection, followed up with that promise and visited the lands throughout the world, and then he prophesied to everybody around the world. So, and they think that not just people in Bethlehem, the immediate Middle East, but also around the world, he actually prophesied to other people and shared the ministry.
Right.
Mormons believe
10%.
Yeah, that's pretty standard with any religion.
10% again.
You got to tithe the 10%. God's got to get his money.
Right.
And it's off the top.
Everybody, and it's all of them have 10%. Everything is 10%.
I know. I don't know where it's a good round number. It's easy math. It's easy math.
12 is crazy.
I just gotta move the decimal 1 point. It's fine.
Right.
We have come pretty far because back in the day, you were just a slave and got no money.
Yeah.
So think of it this way, it's like just we kind of still slaves. Yep, 10%. Members of the church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints Mormons feel that it is important to not become overly obsessed with worldly possessions, so give it to one organization that is going to take your worldly possessions. Okay, I get it. The no donation plate is ever passed around the church, and nobody browbeats anyone who doesn't pay the tithe. Tithing is individual choice that is faithfully voluntarily chose to give in secret, but we really think you should.
Well, that's
right?
a little
And
different from the extremists, like the Kingstons and the Jeffs. They're a little bit more like, you're gonna fucking give us your money. You know what I mean?
That's not
I
your
don't want
whole.
it all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna take it
You're gonna
all,
fucking.
and we're gonna make billions of dollars, and you're gonna live in squalor.
Yeah.
Mormons believe that
Live in a
everyone
little
has
shack.
responsibility to research their family history. Everyone should have their own scope and back into their history to research. One unique belief that Mormons is that they believe in baptism for the dead. To understand this principle, a basic biblical understanding of the baptism is required. So you guys can
I
check that out. But
understand
believe
what
in
baptism is, but
Sure.
why the
We'll
dead?
do
It's like praying somebody into heaven, right? You know,
right.
Yeah.
yeah. Okay.
Isn't it a test? Isn't all this just a test to get into heaven? And
I
then
guess
somebody like endorse me. He's good. Just get him in.
that's fine.
They believe the innocent children are without sin. I feel like this is a popular one that a lot of people would believe.
Well, there's
One
Yeah.
interesting
original sin, so it seems like they don't believe in original sin, right?
right.
Oh, I just read that. I didn't read it as I said it. Now I just looked at it and it said they don't believe in original sin. Yeah.
Okay. Yep. That's the one,
Mhm.
right? And while many churches believe in original sin, meaning that Adam and Eve's sin makes children unclean, even though their children did not make the poor choice to partake in the fruit. So that, I mean, if I was in that religion, I'd probably believe in that. If I was in any Christianity-based religion, but that's not fair. You know, that's like saying like all white people are racist or all white people are
Right.
attached to people that own slaves. Like, really? Can we not? Can we stop? Mormons dedicate more than 2 hours per week to church worship. That seems light, right?
Mhm.
It sounds like the
And
Scientology.
Very
Well,
much so. Only they have to do it every day, but yes.
this is the stepping stone, right? This is like everything's fine. We still
Well,
believe,
good. It's
good.
not bad.
We don't have a sect that's gonna fucking marry your kids. So yeah, that's it. In conclusion, this is from them. So are the Latter-day Saints bizarre and weird? I guess you could say so. We don't do the same things most people do. Actually, they do a lot of things differently in order to serve others and strive to be a good member of society. But being weird isn't so bad. In fact, maybe it helps us become good Christians. Is your daughter available?
So what I found funny, or what it was, oh shit. Oh, this is what I meant. What I found funny is that the doctrine of the Latter-day Saints Mormons is tithe, but really they say go help people, do missions. We're going to help the poor. The poor or the meek shall inherit the earth, pretty much, right? Yet the Kingston clan is like, we are going to make so much money. And it's for all the head Kingstons at the top, Paul, Charles, Daniel, whatever, and they're going to keep all that money, and then the rest of the the sect is going to live in poverty, and they are not doing mission trips. They are not doing anything to help their community and the poor.
Yeah.
They are so far removed from because of the polygamy and whatever the power dynamic. It's completely away from what the fundamentals of being a Mormon is. So
Yep.
It's divorced from it because it's more
it's a
like just like the
bastardized
guy.
version of being a Mormon.
All right,
Yeah, it's more
I've got a message here from Tiff.
Oh, thanks.
Here you go.
It was actually the same in China for a few years there, guys. They had that could only have one baby rule, and there was like one particular couple, and they had a baby, and the baby was born ugly, and the husband ended up going on a deep dive about it, and it turns out that his wife had secretly had like all this plastic surgery when she was younger, and he ended up suing her and winning, like, because
I heard that,
she
yeah.
lied to him about how ugly she was and didn't tell him that they were going to make ugly babies. So there you go.
First of all, can I tell you how much I love your voice? And secondly, I almost lost the whole train of thought of the whole thing because that sounded great. But I saw that, and then I'll bring it up, dude. It was awesome. If you have too much plastic surgery, it's true. I always
It
thought
was
about
false
it. Yep.
advertising.
False advertising. You marry somebody, and the kid comes out looking like a Lord of the Rings orc, and then just looking at you like this is not
Lord of the Rings.
billionaire Ugly wife. There it is. Oh, thank you, Tiffy, for this.
Yes.
Feel free to leave another message. I won't be mad at you. Do
But isn't that
and
the same thing
then
when you go out with somebody and once you take off all the makeup and all the other stuff? I mean,
Oh wow.
oh holy shit, that's a big that's
looking like Rose over here.
that's a whole
That's
lot of
quite a bit of surgery.
Is a
yeah.
my God. That is
I mean,
that's
you gotta that plastic surgeon deserves a lot. I'd go to that one every time. You know what I mean?
Right.
divorce and sued his wife this year for being ugly. That's not a joke. Neither is this. The man recently won the lawsuit. The man is in Jiangfeng, and he said his issues with his wife looks only began after the couple's daughter was born. Feng was appalled by the child's appearance, calling her incredibly ugly, and she's saying that she resembled neither of the parents. My God. When
He's like, "Did you cheat on me?"
yeah, it was the point that his wife, who was not named, came forward saying that he had spent over $100,000 in intense plastic surgeries to drastically change her appearance before she met Feng. She never told Feng about those surgeries. When Feng found out about the procedures, he filed a lawsuit, and he said that convinced him to marry her under false pretenses. That's it. That's it. My life ruined with an ugly child attached to my name.
Tiff said it takes catfish to a whole next level. It
does.
does. Oh man.
Dave.
But what
Dave said, "Did the man take the money and spend it on plastic surgery for his ugly ass kid?"
That's the way out. That's the way out, right? Like that's the
But what if her parents, or what if maybe somebody down the bloodline of his family wasn't attractive? Do you know what I mean? Like, what
impossible.
I mean,
It couldn't be him.
He's pretty. If he looks good, I mean, I've seen the picture. They're both standing next to each other. They both are very attractive Chinese people, but my God, would you see her
Just
without
had bad genes.
all over fucking TikTok? Go to TikTok. Right? Speaking of TikTok, go to my TikTok. There's a link in my thing if you guys want to being on TikTok a whole lot more. It's fun. But anyway, if you go to TikTok, you'll see people like literally the ugliest people with no teeth, women.
Oh, yeah, doing all the makeup and then putting their teeth in, and they're like gorgeous. Yeah.
Right. Lots of it. Yeah. He becomes a millionaire. He tries to like be friend, like, hey, I'm sorry I called you ugly when you were a baby. Fuck you.
we've got another message from Ming Pao. Hope I said it correctly. I apologize if I didn't.
Maybe it's the guy.
I'm the one who tried to sue my wife to try to lie to me, tell me that she's very beautiful, but very ugly, but had to kill the baby,
Sorry, this is Sparta. And Tiff, you're right. Like, and thank you, sir, for having the bravery to come on the show and tell us your story. Tiff, it's absolutely crazy how this is like even a thing where like now we have to realize like are you really who you are? Like before it was like nails, hair, but like now, yeah, but like do you have a fake ass, nails, hair, eyes, eyelashes, tits, stomach? Like are you just gonna fall apart when we have like what's gonna happen? So
Or are you gonna float if there's ever a tsunami?
that's good. That's a good thing.
It's
a good thing. But I've been to not in a while, but I went a couple years ago. I was at a strip club, and for whatever reason, and I reached down and I felt ripples. I felt ripples in the back. It's like I guess whatever they put in the ass implant has like ripples, so it doesn't like move up.
Saline.
But it looks like this. It's like a it's like a rib for her pleasure, but maybe it's like traction to not fall off chairs.
Could be.
It's weird. Ladies, don't do that.
No.
It's like, oh. Sorry, we're off the rails.
We have another message from Ming Pao.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me, but I wish that I come on your show instead of coming my wife. Would have been more cheaper.
Come all over the show. Yeah.
Oh,
Where do
jeez.
you guys want to go from here? So we talked about kind of what they believe. You want to look at child brides? What do you guys want to do?
Yeah, we can do that.
Not look at child. You know what I'm talking about. Like look at why the child brides. That came out weird.
Right. Give me. I will be right back. But go ahead and start, and I will join at when I can.
All good.
So some of the children ended up marrying.
I can't hear you as well, Rose. Can you put the microphone closer to you or turn yourself up on the road?
Is that better?
Yep.
Is that better right there?
Better. Yep. Thank you.
Okay. So some of these children were moved off at a very young age, like at the age of 3. They already knew where they were going to be placed, who they were going with, and and they were, you know, grapes everywhere through at a young age, and learned how to work at the age of 5, which is beyond crazy. It's like that's just at 5 years old. How crazy is that?
Yeah. I mean, there are a lot of cultures who like to secure your family's wealth or like to secure your family's status. We're going to betroth my daughter to your son from an early age. So there's an alliance, right? So like I get it. So like before they have a chance to like meet anybody else or cloud their mind, I don't say it's right, but I'm saying I get it. Like before anyone gets to cloud their mind, they're already betrothed. So like you're going to marry this person no matter what. I can see why it's beneficial for like, a patriarch of a family. I want to solidify goods. I want to get whatever cows, like it's called a dowry. And like, if I marry you, for example, I would imagine your dad would give my family like 20 goats and like, you know what I'm saying? Like whatever value they put on a woman's life. Right.
Don't they do that in Manila?
Well,
I thought it was
plot
Manila.
twist. The Asian guy grows up to be just like him. And Manila, yeah. They do it in a lot of places, a lot of betrothals. I mean, it was huge. Just like polygamy, it was a huge thing back in the day.
I've got another voice mail from May.
I give you my best cow. My daughter's pure. Yes, I'll give you my best cow. I'll give you my best cow, 13 roosters, 41 seeds.
And here's a message from May.
Hey, we found the bright patch of roses this time. What do you know? We're not lost anymore. I think we figured it out, though. I think we're in the right rose patch. It looks like familiarity. Let's see. There's a guy with a beard. Oh, that must be AC. Okay. And then there's Red Rose. Oh, yeah, there's CM. And there's no Dave. Okay, maybe there's a rose missing. It might be Dave. Not sure. What's this got to do with anything? I got no idea. Just figured we would just drop in and say hi. So here we are. Listening.
Thanks, May.
Thank you so much. Here, I have one of those. But yeah, thanks for coming by. We're just talking about trading cows for. Like, if I marry you, how many cows will you give my family?
Right, a dowry. Yes.
Yeah. Fucked up. So, let's see. Let's go into.
Yeah, so at a very young age, they were already. I guess you said it in the beginning, like a lottery. We're just gonna pick a number for you. Here you go. You're gonna be married to number wife 152, which is just insane to have so many wives.
Well,
what would a guy who's 52 years old have in common with a 13-year-old girl? The only thing is,
well, they weren't allowed to even have a mind. They were only allowed to make babies
procreation.
And work.
Yes.
Like even the book that they had was all about. It even said in the book that they had was all about
how to be a good wife. Yeah, and be pure of mind and not even think or have crushes. Yeah.
and think of all the possible dirty stuff in their mind.
Well, yeah, and all the thing about it is the actual Mormon Church got rid of polygamy, so so Utah could become a state. So they denounced polygamy, so Utah could become a state, and then there were people who were like, no, this is how our religion has been this whole time, and that's how they broke off into these fundamentalist groups or the Kingston Klan or whatever it may
which is
be.
almost a direct parallel to seceding from the South. The North
Yeah.
seceding to the South, seceding from the North, and
Yep.
going to war with that. People want to say that wasn't about slavery. It's a huge part. It's about states' rights and slavery. But the same thing with Utah. For them to become a viable piece of this nation, and trust me, they are, because they are in a critical part. They're one state up from me. They're one state to the left of Rose, and it's a beautiful place. It's one of the most beautiful places I've ever been to in my life. It has one of the most gorgeous state parks I have ever been to in my entire life. Zion. I understood why people go to war for America. You feel ultra patriotic. You feel like, wow, this is why. Not fucking Detroit. This is why we fight. And I would encourage anyone who's on the west coast of America to come visit Zion National Park. Beautiful. But I get
never
it.
been there.
To be
Now, does it change your mind a little bit since okay, but it's not legal there. But they
They
turned their
criminalized it in 2020, though. So basically,
did
if they decriminalized polygamy in 2020, between consenting adults, so if you're an adult 18 and over, and you get married and you're in a plural marriage, then it's, if they catch you or whatever, it's like getting a speeding ticket. Where it becomes a felony is when it's underage and forced.
Right.
So,
but nobody's forced, because God, and we love you. Polygamy.
but isn't
you know what I mean?
But isn't Vegas too also, because didn't they have that show on, what was it? I think it was Lifetime, where it was the Sister Wives. Do you remember
I
that?
think that
I
was
don't know if you remember,
TLC,
but it was
actually.
TLC,
Mhm.
and that was in Vegas. And then now they're all divorced. Now they've all moved on, have separate husbands, and
Again,
crazy old
it's
story.
really just one guy who wants to have multiple women and have the power dynamic not be in his favor. If one of those wives are like, I'd like to have another husband, he'd be like, fuck off. That's not how this works.
Right.
I am the man, you
Right.
know?
And there's no, that's not only that, but they've attached leaving your husband to leaving God. Like, you can't, that's why it's so hard. It's not like a choice you can just wake up and make, like, you know what? I don't want to live in this cabin with my 8 children, with another, like, next to 13 other cabins with 8 children in it for one. Like, some of these guys, like Warren Jeffs, had an enormous family. And for you to understand, like, how big this fucking family was, like, these families are humongous.
Warren Jeffs, so Roland Jeffs had, what did he say, 62? Sorry, yeah, there was like 62 kids, and Warren Jeffs was just one of them. But Jeff's mom thought he was special because he was born 8 weeks early, and he was one of the higher ups said he's going to be special and he's going to do things.
He is the
And
one
then
that bring balance to the force.
well, kind of. Well, and all these prophets have to be a prophet, you have to have a vision from, an angel or whatever, or God, or but they believe that Roland Jeffs was going to live forever.
You didn't get
And when he died, they were like, what the fuck? But Warren Jeffs capitalized on that and said, oh, wait, hold on. Guess what? I'm my dad. I came back. Here you go. And
oh my God. I mean, come on. I mean, to dupe a population of people with such a thing, it's like, now, is it? I mean, it's incredible. Like, how do you fall for this? How do you? And in the beginning, fine, but like perpetually, forever,
I mean, and again, we can see, but from people who leave it, that they go, oh wait, their light bulb turned on, and we're like, oh fuck, this is wrong. I shouldn't be doing this. You were, this is. But then the people who are who do follow. I mean, Warren Jeffs would ask his dad's wives, you believe I should be the next leader, right? And because they were afraid of him, they were like, sure.
Of course.
And
You
he'd
have-
bring them up and parade them in front of people and say, and they're like, yes, he is, his dad incarnate. You know what I mean? It's insane.
well, he has the face for it. I mean, who wouldn't love this? To be told what to do by this fucking guy.
Can you imagine being 13 years old and being told this is going to be your husband?
This is what sex
No.
is now.
Oh,
Yeah.
barf.
Barf. And
No.
I mean, none of these guys can be at least mildly attractive to like seduce these. God damn, that sucks. That sucks.
And,
Former child bride
and
who
the
had
girls are pretty.
Go ahead.
Yeah, no, they are. Well, some of them are.
Some of them are questionable, but
Where'd we go?
Did I lose you?
Yeah, it sounded for a minute.
Okay,
Yeah, there we go.
there we go.
So a former child bride that fled a fundamentalist Mormon cult has now told how the sex leader reminded her she was the property of her husband after she begged him to free her from forced marriage. Elisa Wall suffered multiple miscarriages after being made to marry her cousin at the age of 14 under the polygamous fundamentalist church of the Latter-day Saints. Now 31, she's shed new light on the life inside the isolated sect of a documentary about its domineering leader, Warren Jeffs, who controlled almost every aspect of the 15,000 followers' lives. So beyond marriage, this big marriage, you can have 13, 20 fucking wives, whatever, 100 kids. This guy's like controlling many people, and he has influence. So it goes beyond the polygamy. Like, I'm a big daddy, like. Oh, nice. That went pretty good. Whoever did that. So,
It was me on accent. Sorry.
right after I spoke, I was like, sweet. So yeah, this guy looks like a fucking asshole. He acted like one. He has influence over people. He has influence over his area, like where he's at. Like 15,000 people is nothing to joke at. That's like a contingent of like people who vote.
Right.
I control people. Thank you, Jamie, for finally coming through with that breakthrough. If you like, leave a voice note and let us know how you came there.
No, it was funny. He was showing even at 16 before he became the leader there. He was getting pretty close to his sisters. And his dad was like, we don't talk about it. We're going to brush it under the rug. And then all of a sudden, now he's the leader. So.
And then how it works. It's kind of drawing parallels to the Scientology kind of thing where Miss Gavin said.
Very much so.
The only one that can be in that room with L. Ron Hubbard. No one else can. Why? Because he told
That's how it worked. Right. Yeah. He was never, his dad had a stroke at like 86 or something like that. And he did not leave his side. And the day before he died, he brought all of his dad's wives in to sing songs to him. And then the next day he was dead and Warren took over. So
it's a lot of power is being at the right place at the right time and waiting for the shoe to drop so you can just assume.
Right.
Absolutely. You don't have to usurp everything. You can just let the crown fall and catch it. Jeff, said to have over 78 wives and more than 50 children in the Utah church, was jailed for life in 2011 after being convicted for sexually assaulting two girls aged 12 and 15. He is believed to be he's believed to continue to preside over the church from behind bars, which is insane to me.
Yeah.
Like so wrap your mind, boys and girls out in the audience, 78 wives and more than 50 children.
I'm surprised it's only, it says more than 50 children, but you'd think it'd at least be 78 kids if he had 78 wives.
That's true. At least
it just doesn't compute.
Thank you for analytical, man. I missed that. Some of them like horny as shit. Like, where's mine? Like waiting in a bunker.
His dad had like 62 kids from, I don't know, more than 62 kids. But you know what I mean? His dad had a shit ton of kids.
He's slacking. Like, let's go, bro. You wanted to have these motherfucking wives? Let's go, motherfucker.
If these women have to have a baby every year, he's slacking.
And if he's controlling that section of the Latter-day Saints from behind bars, somebody can smuggle out some of his sperm.
Yeah.
That they can.
Yeah.
Make more, babe. From behind bars don't matter. Don't matter. Oh boy.
Now remember, the reason why he got caught was because one of the girls left and then they found her, then they beat her, And
No.
right, wasn't that the Warren or wasn't the Kingston?
That might have been the Kingston one.
That was the Kingstons.
Because they went to jail for it. I can't remember which one it was, one or the other. They all start sounding the same. I get confused.
There's a lot of similarities and a lot of differences between the two sects, the fundamentalists and the Kingstons. You know what I mean?
There's nothing. Hot dog down a hallway.
Yeah, I mean, the similarities are multiple, wives, keeping the family, the bloodline pure, that sort of thing. I find it interesting that the fundamentalists actually really are, and if you listen to people speak about it, they're like, there were some great things about this. You know what I mean? Before it got corrupt, especially when Warren took over, it was a family dynamic. You know, you had mentioned AC about the short that you had that kind of makes you think, oh, there are good things about it. It was a community. It's raising our kids, whatever. But then the Kingston side of it is, we're going to isolate. Our wives aren't going to talk. Our kids aren't going to really socialize. In the Kingston clan, if you're a son of a second or third wife, or not the main wife, you can't call your dad because they don't want to get caught.
And if they're not married, so for a long time, they didn't do that because they weren't married, so
they're not legally married. Yeah.
So you can't and then that's all the mom wants is for them to have that. What are we doing this for? To not have a huge family? That was sold to me as the bill of goods. Is like, the village will raise our kids. No one will ever be alone. You don't have to work. Like, and then the other thing is like, where the fuck do these dudes work at? Like, okay, fine. Maybe I want to have 20 kids. Like, that's my dream as a child. I don't know. Have the biggest family.
They have their own businesses that are
not all. Some like what was that guy? Tom Green, the guy with 13 wives and 29 kids. He would send them out to panhandle sometimes, or he would send them out to go into town. They live 200 miles outside of Salt Lake City, so they would get together like soap and like shit to sell them, like just enough for like the next couple of days of food, and then have like not all of them are well off. Like this fucking guy who looks like he's literally like thinking about how to blow up the sun or something. Like, look at him.
He does look like he's trying to take over the world. I mean,
next mission, blow up the moon. Not cool, bro.
What are we gonna do tonight, Pinky? We're gonna take over the world.
Same thing we do every night, brain.
He has an alien face going on.
Yep. Here, I'm gonna get. Now that you mentioned that, I'm gonna grab this link.
You know what? To be honest with you, he had really bad acne when he was a kid. He must have scratched his face a lot.
all that pussy didn't fucking fix your face though, huh?
And it looks like he can't even grow a beard because there's not even you could tell
it doesn't
when
even
look
like there's no shadow there.
Puss ass. And on top of it, they're wife beaters. So for me, there's a special place.
And children. I mean, they beat the children too. I mean, I had looked at something that they said it was a podcast, but it had a girl who was in the Kingstons who escaped. She was like, my dad, it's like he blacked out, and if you were in his space, we joked that you might not wake up the next day. And I was like, whoa, you know what I mean? They beat the shit out of him. So
it's violent to a certain extent, but it's always cloaked in this like religious,
spare the rod, spoil the child type of thing.
Exactly. Also, like, well, how can you translate that over to having a child bride? So like, it's always that. It's always something. It's always something horrible wrapped in a religious fucking shroud. But you can't tax us and you can't touch us. We're fine if it was even that. But like on top of it, you want to convert people to it, and like you do bad for society. Think about the torture.
In a way, though, I mean, again, Mormons go out and want to minister and whatever, regular Mormons that aren't corrupt, like this. But then, but the fundamentalists, you know what I mean? The fundamentalists and the Kingstons, they really aren't trying to get out more people. The reason how they get more people is have more babies. They're keeping it within. They're growing their congregation from within.
Worse? Having a growing number of inbred people in one part of the country, so like looking at the world against them, or like Just let them live, or like, and not like them, we don't kill them, like just live and let live at that point. But like you knowing what they're doing, that's rough. You know,
Mhm.
like it is religion, but when does religion just is flat out PDF file? You know what I mean? Like when is it?
Mhm.
When is religion a flat out PDF file? You know,
Yeah.
like where's that line?
I don't
What
know.
if my religion? What if my religion is to marry the newborn, the next newborn that was born? That's my religion, and
Ugh.
you know what I mean? Like, would you allow that?
No. I mean, I don't think should be
Yeah,
allowed. I'm just saying that's the difference between, like that's kind of the difference between the extremists in this type of religion is, you know, fuck trying to get new people in. We want to keep everything pure, and it's fucking sick. It is.
and again, who am I to penetrate someone's family, dismantle their religion? Like no one. Like I'm the first one to tell you, like live and let live. But now you have real, like real torture, real like you have like a 12-year-old kid has to marry a 42-year-old guy who's like heavy breathing, sweating on her. The first inkling of like sex or like being a woman is just like given away to this like family member that was just a given. No one has to earn it. It's just disgusting.
Yeah, I feel
Rose,
like
you
I
like
had
you're into
nightmares about this when I was a kid.
Rose is sitting back going, I'm into it. I kind of like this.
No, but that's all what part of them knew. You know what I mean? Like a lot of them, they like were excited. Some of these kids that you see in some of these documentaries,
Absolutely.
they were because that's all they knew. And then you have
They
the
were
ones that
chosen.
actually,
Yeah.
yeah. And then you have the ones that have come to surface and be like, oh fuck, this is wrong, right? And they're going, this is disgusting and sick. Like Jessica, that she is the daughter of the Kingston family. The mom was number 2 or something like that, or number 3, and
Yeah.
she was on the,
Well,
and they have, they, like I said,
I'm the number 3 wife. Imagine being
well, in number one wife has a status,
bottom
right?
bottom
The
bitch.
further down you go is the least clout that you have. Jesus Christ, Dave.
It doesn't matter. My religion says I have to marry any newborn. Any.
But I mean, I believe it wasn't. Weren't they brother and sister that got married in the
Hell yeah.
Kingston? Yeah, and
yeah,
had kid. Yeah, it was.
And then yeah, they would marry. I was just watching that. I think in episode 2, season 1, they were kind of explaining that they would have kids and the kids would grow up and then they would marry their parents
Mhm.
and then they would have kids and then they would marry into it. Like so, it's like this like circle back kind of a movement. It's like crap out kids, marry them, more kids, more wives, extend this line, make another like row of people.
Yeah.
It's like a factory of fundamentalist, straight up like ginger white people that I don't know how
well, they
sustainable.
believed in purity. They believed that they shouldn't mix. They believed that they didn't want their bloodline should be pure and not mixed with any.
Do they know how science works?
Right? I mean,
Apparently, for them, they did.
even with dogs, if you, I mean, that happens in breeding dogs. You shouldn't do it. You shouldn't breed them with their bloodline. You know what I mean? Because you get
All
deformities and
cancer, breathing problems, deformity of
yes,
bones, blood.
everything.
Yeah. And so one of those things, I could look it up now, but I just don't want to drag this on. But Henry VIII was a king that, because of inbreeding and because the Tudors were
Mhm.
so unbelievably inbred, they ended up having something called the Habsburg chin. And the Habsburg chin is a chin that shoots out like that.
Mhm.
It is like kind of like you guys watch American Dad, like Stan
Yes. Yep.
Smith, right?
Yep.
His fucking chin that's a Habsburg chin. It's huge. It's a deformity that is given to people. That would have been a good thing for me to read, to
Hey,
bring up.
Jace.
Yeah, but it happens, and people are aware of it. It's not like
Right.
so. It is a disgusting deformity that happens over like only like a couple of generations. And Richard Habsburg images
All
sharing.
right. While you look for that, I've got a
Yes.
message from Tiff.
Go for it.
The other thing you have to consider is that, like, this is just the way of life for some people. I actually had a family that we used to go to play dates for that had moved to Australia from the Middle East, and she was pregnant with her second child, and she was having a bit of an emotional time. just with the amount of information that they were giving her with the hospital. When she had her first child, like she didn't know how the baby got in there, how long it was going to be there, how it was going to come out. Neither did her husband. And they were an arranged marriage, but they loved each other so much. But it was interesting to see, just the mental, emotional hurdles, I guess, that they both went through when they came to, a different country that informed them about these sort of things. But their relationship and family is honestly beautiful. So I don't know, it's very interesting to consider. Like, we look at it and go, ugh, but these people were thriving. So I don't know, where does that line get drawn? It's an interesting one.
It's an amazing comment. I would say right where you have to have sex with a 13-year-old.
Or a family member, yeah.
Right. And in
I mean, arranged marriages, yeah, sure. And they were uneducated on how babies are made, right?
Yeah, you're pretty much, if you have come from Indian families like
Yeah.
that, to a certain extent, I threw it back to like, back in the day when they traded goats and chickens and shit and like betrothals because
Well, there's still dowries, there.
and you have to have certain rules in place. And this is the guy you should marry. This really benefits the family. And there's no question that people can fall in love at the moment, grow to get more love, grow in love together, have children. Sure. I think the issue is when your first sexual encounter or sexual experience is with your dad or
your uncle or an 80-year-old man
you've
or
told it
86-year-old man, and you've never
right. And
Yeah.
imagine for giving
Could you
imagine giving a fucking 68-year-old guy a blowjob when you're 13 years old.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that. I guess I have to put it that bluntly. And if that's it, I mean, that to me is a pretty deep abuse that you're doing, even if it's on your own family. However, it's shrouded in religion, which gives them immunity, and that's what we're discussing.
Yeah.
Kind of. And that's what we're discussing. Not that it's right or wrong,
Mm-hmm.
but holy shit, I think it's kind of wrong when those particular things are happening.
It absolutely is, and being underage is horrific. But even being 18, 19 years old, and you've never known, your parents aren't telling you how babies are made. You know what I mean? You're so innocent at this point. They've not, if you've made it to 19 and you've not been married, right? They're not telling you how babies are made. Some of these girls thought that just kissing did that. And then all of a sudden, the leader of the, fundamentalist group, Rulon Jeffs squeezes your hand and is like, you're going to be my wife. And you think just by kissing him, and that's gross.
Am I pregnant?
Now you have to fuck him. You know what I mean? Now he goes, oh, wait, you're staying in here tonight and you have no idea what's coming. I mean, I couldn't imagine being that naive and not knowing how, and then going, oh, wait, what are you doing to me? What's happening now? You know what I mean?
And you're pregnant. And
Like,
then after all that, and then you're pregnant. You're like,
right.
I mean, traumatic being traumatized in that respect. I mean, it's just, I don't know. It blows my mind.
I've got another message here from Tiff. Hold on.
The science behind attraction is actually really freaking wild as well when it comes to this sort of thing too, because it's already been scientifically proven that, like, if you meet a family member and you don't know that you're related, you'll feel love for that person automatically. But because you don't know you're related, like, it'll be interpreted as love, and often they end up in relationships that way. So I guess too, like, part of it is just hiding the fact that you're family and just constantly telling this child that that's, your love, and it'd automatically fall into place for the brain so easily. Like, is this grooming? I don't know.
I like that she's bringing the other side of it. It's true. I like to compare them both. The only thing I have a problem with, like, you don't have any choices. The choices are quite limited if you're a girl born into the.
And as the adult male in this, gross.
So this is the Habsburg chin. So I don't have to look at the screen anymore. So, but this is
Yes.
see Richard here.
Uh-huh.
That fucking let's see if I bring it any bigger, but you see that, Rose?
Yes.
That's a deformity that can happen after
Mhm.
much inbreeding. So called the Habsburg chin.
Looks like a bulldog. Mm.
It's just it looks like a bulldog and it jets out like that. You look like
Well, and part of the reason they have it is they inbreed bulldogs to, you know what I mean, to get a pure bloodline there too. I mean, we shouldn't mess with that.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Were you gonna show that short if you wanted, or
Oh yeah,
do we not need to do that?
Yeah, totally forgot. It was the ultimate tease, you guys. Ultimate tease, you guys. Let me know if you guys can hear it.
polygyny,
Yep.
where you have 80% of cultures on the anthropological record have been polygynous, where you have high status men have multiple wives and low status men have no wives. Christianity is unusual in insisting on monogamy. We inherited it from Rome. It was a very important component of 2,000 years of Christian civilization, which now, of course, we're mostly rejected. And even though legally you're still only allowed to marry one person, having sex outside of marriage is now completely socially permissible, and so people are in practice being drawn back towards our species norm, having lifted the monogamous restriction. But I argue in the book, and I think really strongly, that monogamous restriction produces much better outcomes, particularly for women and for low status men. But there are all sorts of ways in which monogamous cultures do better than polygynous cultures. Lower crime rates, lower domestic violence rates, less economic inequality, all sorts of good outcomes that come with insisting on monogamy. Our species norm is polygyny.
I could listen to her talk all the time.
I watched it like 4 times in a row. I was like, talk to me, baby. Talk to me about what you want, polygyny. Fuck yeah.
But if you even go back New or Old Testament in the Bible, I mean, many of the men had multiple wives.
It's a status symbol. It was like having money.
Yeah,
Money,
I mean,
right.
it
wasn't the biggest thing. So it was like, what was what?
Okay.
From the dawn of time, who got the bitches? I got the bitches. I'm the man.
And I mean, if we take it back to that, I mean, if we go and take Bible as true, I don't know either way, but I mean, if you take that, they were trying to populate the earth at that point. It was brand new, if you believe, the Bible,
Well,
but which
first thing
makes
they had to do was go
kind of
fuck
sense,
yeah,
but
everybody. Yeah,
it's always been skewed. You know what I mean? I don't know.
and then they try to paint it up nice, like we try not to think about that. We made the New Testament, we cleaned it up a little bit, we kind of polished it. Let's get rid of the torture and the killing and the slavery, but let's sure. But
one guy comes and dies on a cross and makes it all better. But
we didn't marry everybody, and
yeah.
But it wasn't until the Romans that they introduced not only the democracy and the big city life and like communal bathrooms and shit, but they also fucking got rid of multiple wives, which
actually surprises me about the Romans.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, if you go back into history and, I mean, there was, look at Caligula, you know what I mean? There was but I don't know. It just surprises me that the Romans made it and made monogamy.
But also training. Every time we talk about those times, I got to bring up our shotgun candy where we found out that all gladiators were gay, and part of their training was to have sex with each other.
Yeah, I remember that episode. I listened to it.
So the question comes back to, what is the difference between the LDS and the
FLDS?
The FLDS? Isn't it most? Aren't they all the same?
No, so LDS is just being Mormon, Latter-day, the Church of the Latter-day Saints, right?
Mhm.
And was it Joseph Smith? Am I correct on that? Yes, he was the prophet. He, he was, I don't know. He went up on the mountain and got a prophecy and came down and said, "This is how we're gonna," this is surmising what Mormonism is. And then initially they did have plural marriages at that point. When they wanted to become a state, they denounced plural marriage and just focused on whatever John Smith's, doctrine was. And then
Too much to get into because it's a whole religion.
it's a lot. It is a lot. So when the Kingston clan began with Charles W. Kingston, he was the first to oppose the Latter-day Saints. So he had gone to there was like a gathering of the Latter-day Saints, and this guy Lauren Woolley told him, a high priest, he was a high priest apostle, and he was like, "Hey, you realize plural marriage is a thing, and maybe you should do it." And Kingston was like, "Cool, I'd like to." This is in 1929. It was in 1935 though that Kingston, or Charles's son Eldon, was like, "Oh, I got visited by an angel. We're going to have we need to," I apologize, give me the sec, we need a law of consecration. And his laws made it that he actually created the doctrine for the Kingston clan. and he was the one who was trying to figure out how to. They said he got the keys of the priesthood, and they don't know how he did that because of a bunch of things. It just didn't follow what they had learned. But then, he's the one that did all the things with the cows and, the genetics and things to make his bloodline thing. So originally there were plural marriages in the Mormon religion. They denounced that, and these guys said, okay, we're going to go away from that. We are not going to do exactly what the other guys do. We're going to do what we want to do. And whoever has been at the lead of each of these sects have made their own rules to suit their needs. Does that
Right.
does that make sense?
Yeah.
Rose? Okay.
Yeah.
Did I say that okay?
Yeah. No, you got it. You perfect.
Okay.
So now here's the question. Okay. So I know that in Utah, that's before it became, legalized. How come the police officers turned their head? Like, do you think they were paid off to not like kind of turn an eye?
What it is they didn't want to pursue it too much because it's breaking up families in a way. I mean, look at all these children.
It's in your community.
If they take away mom or dad because they are in a plural marriage, these children are now left with no one. Yeah,
to other like families that are willing to take on kids, which is
they don't want to break up the families. So I mean, it's not something that they really sought out. I mean, if it were egregious crimes, of course, but and it wasn't it in the King? I watched a Kingston thing about back in like 2014 or so. They were trying to put more of a ban on it, but then because it had been decriminalized, and then they didn't decriminalize it anymore, and then in 2020 they did again. So I don't know.
kind of like getting a New Testament, right? You just gonna want to clean it up, just like to be part of society, because if your message is too strong, every religion has some. What I'm learning is that every religion has some kooky parts about it, and that's where the faith comes in. So every other part of it is pretty decent. However, this part of their, I'm sure a lot of good parts in this, but ultimately, what you have to do is pretty heinous. But you have to clean it up. You have to wash it a little bit and kind of present it and be like, here, world, this is what we believe. But we'll keep the real stuff in the background. If you're interested, we'll tell you. But you end up with people like this gem. I think you mentioned him earlier. Mr. Blackmore, right? What's his name?
Yeah. Winston?
Winston Blackmore.
Yeah. So 9 child brides and 101 children. That to me is a wild fucking number. He married her when she was 15 years old and had a baby 2 weeks before her 17th birthday. She was one of Blackmore's 4 15-year-old brides, say police. So now at this point, we can get police involved. There's like 4 people have to get hurt before shit happens.
That's sad.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
And then we can't preempt it later because it's thought crime. It's a pattern, right? I see these people fucking kids. Like, what's going on here? But no, it's shrouded in religion. So as soon as you say that word, people have to back off. It's in our Constitution: freedom from religion, freedom from persecution, freedom to not have a religion. And I think that gets lost on a lot of people.
Yeah.
9 girls, under 18, were among the 25 wives of Mr. Blackmore had since 1976. 101 kids, list of wives and children drafted September 2005 was a part of an affidavit. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
It's everywhere. What are cops going to do if, you're going to come out because there are polygamists? Like, okay, I have to arrest this whole fucking town. Like all of this, maybe the judges are fucking Mormon and they're going to be like, no, we're not going to fucking prosecute. It has to do with region too.
It's crazy. It's crazy. And it's sad. At one point it's kind of sad, but I was listening to one of the trials that they had where one of the guys goes up on stand and he's like, why should we be shamed? This is what we want to do. And they are accepting us to be okay. And I believe there's I think Jessica, they're very big advocates for this because they have their own too, where they help girls that want to leave the polygamy group, and they rescue them. And there's one in the Kingston family that's giving them information privately. I don't know if you saw that in one of their episodes.
They got a mole.
Yeah, they have a mole there, and she's helping them, and the mole is trying. She's like, I can't leave until we shut them down. Like her whole goal is to shut them down. And it's it's just very interesting, but it's also like maybe because we're on the outside and all the technology and everything we have, and then you see them and you're like, well, you can just hop on a computer and you can read all this up and you're gonna, you know what I mean? And they don't have that. They don't have the computers. They don't have books.
They have
And
it. They're told and they believe that everything, like we're heathens. Like we're like everybody, most extreme parts of religion, like any religion, the most extreme parts, everyone else that's not you or your people that believe exactly the same thing are absolutely going to hell. There's no chance for you to fucking, like as soon as whatever happens, like cataclysm, you're gone. You're going to hell immediately. So they don't see us as people. They see us more like, I don't know, the damned.
Well, it's just like an abusive partner, whether it's a woman or a man, doesn't matter. I'm not, whatever. But when you're in an abusive relationship, the first thing that your partner does is isolate you from everything else, right? So the religions or the cults that we're talking about, whether it's Scientology or the Kingston Clan or the FLDSs. Sorry, I'm a little dyslexic, but the first thing that they do is isolate you from everything else, because if you're isolated, the people who are going to talk reason, you can't listen to. You know what I mean? And then you make them the devil, and okay, I shouldn't listen to this. Now I'm isolated, and now everything you tell me is got to be true. It's the gospel, right? Quite literally in this instance.
Yeah, like PDF files. Like, what's worse than being called a PDF file? Nothing. So you go right there. Anything you say is discredited. You are terrible. Like anybody
They're
who
minor attractive persons now. I'm joking.
But they have lots of money too.
They do.
On top of so where is this? Who's supporting them? Because obviously somebody has to support them.
Everybody who believes.
So the Kingstons are making their own money. The guys at the top are, they estimate them at like $11 billion that they have. They're not sharing the wealth. They're not even giving it to their kids. They're padding their own pockets. I mean, I said this on the Scientology, thing. What's the difference between a cult and a religion? In a cult, there's a guy who, at the top knowing everything's fake, and in their religion, he's dead. You know what I mean? It's
so fucking true. I've said it times already.
Seriously, I mean, there's that common thread of throughout this. It's a power grab.
Yeah, because they don't even believe in medicine either. Like they believe that within themselves. Because there's one, I want to say he's in the Kingston family.
Yes,
and his
mom died.
Yeah.
His mom died of cancer because they said she didn't need medical help. And then once she passed, his dad was like, get out of the church, and he left. And then his dad was trying to get him back in. But his dad he was like, nope, you can come back in if you pay all this money.
Well, and then the other thing too was when the mom died, they believed that everything they owned. So if you wanted a picture, you had to buy it. If you want, so he bought like a bell. The only thing his mom had was
his
a
bell.
Yeah, and that was what she would ring when she was sick, and to call him.
What a sad thing to remember your mom by. I mean,
and this kid was like, he just loved magic and wanted to.
Yes, he was so sweet.
Guys, I'm only taking one shot, and this is terrible. We had like 4 shots last week. I was expecting that.
Oh yeah, let's do another shot.
Gotta feel something, baby.
Let's do another shot.
Then we'll talk about these ridiculous people called the Darger family.
Okay.
This is fucked. This is actually the people who were.
Why did I not look this one up? Jeez.
It's
much better at this than I am.
The Big Love was.
I didn't even see this one.
Okay, Big Love.
The interactions with the sister wives would have.
Okay.
Big Love on HBO.
Okay.
Oh, the Duggar family. Yes.
Yep.
Shot?
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Fixing my shit. Go for it.
Shot.
All right.
Think. Yeah, I was okay. So
I know, right?
You know what? Pretty soon we're all going to be doing this, all three of us
all together.
Dude, I'm
together.
so excited.
When is the big meetup?
Someone's probably going to have to carry me by the end of the night. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, it's gonna be great.
Are we gonna do a roses are red?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
I can't wait.
First of all, on location, roses are red. We'll find a true crime or
That's
some
what we
kind
should
of
do.
weird thing about Vegas if you want.
Yeah, let's do
I
that.
say, you know what? I say we should do what was Biggie Small who was killed in Vegas?
Tupac.
Small is the illest.
Tupac.
Yeah, they were both killed in Vegas. That's a deep one. Somebody just got arrested for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did a
Mhm.
whole they searched the guy's house. I think I pulled that story, but they searched the guy's house and then they're like arrested him. I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's a story we should do.
My favorite rapper by far is
Are you guys
Biggie
talk
Smalls.
about amongst yourselves? I'll be right
Biggie.
back.
Yeah.
I'll be
Okay.
right back.
We got you.
Yeah, so that's going to be in a couple weeks, and what we plan to do in Vegas is go live. So the married couple is going to go live.
I don't know. We'll figure it out. I don't know. Are we?
I gotta
We're
charge
going to
my-
go live at some point. We'll probably walk down Fremont Street and get all dumb and go live, but we may just
do
do
that. I want to do
a
TikTok
podcast.
live. We do that TikTok live.
Yeah.
And then we have to
I
do
do.
YouTube and everything. Somebody's hotel room is going to get it. Somebody's hotel
Oh,
room
yeah.
is going to get a whole show. So we'll do a
Yeah.
roses are red. There's a lot of shit that happened in Vegas, casino type shit, like
Yeah.
bodies in the
Yeah,
desert.
figure out something and we'll figure it out. I don't know if we need to do Biggie and Tupac. I think that's a lot to take on.
Litigate. Yeah, there's probably a whole lot of stuff. Vegas.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm just so excited.
Yeah, and you stay at this the famous Circa Hotel, which is
Yes.
one of the new crowning jewels of Las Vegas.
So excited.
What did May
I just
say?
need to get stupid. You know what I mean?
You guys are gonna watch where you're gonna see me in my prime.
Yes.
Donna, do a story on the county courthouse.
Which is now the Mob Museum.
That's a good one, May. Yeah, May's from here. Evil Pizza and the Mob downtown. Oh yeah. Evil Pizza's great.
I love Evil Pizza. We eat there every time we go.
Oh, there's another one around the corner called Good Pie. Good Pie is on a different level, but it's very good. It's very good.
Okay, is that the one that sells? Is that? It is on the corner before you walk down to Evil Pie, right?
Yeah, it depends what corner you're on. I think it's Main, and then you make a left, right?
Yeah, I think we've been there too. Yeah, I think I got meatballs there.
It's different, but I prefer the vibe. Everything. I much prefer at Evil, but that's gonna be fun. We're gonna be on location, everybody.
Yes, it's gonna be so much fun.
Stay tuned.
Yep.
I'm so excited. You have no idea. And actually, you know what, AC? Well, I'll tell you later. Tell both of you later.
You sure?
Yeah.
Yeah, something for off air.
I'm so excited. You have no idea. I'm so excited. She already speed it up.
Rose, bring money.
I am. I sure am.
Okay, good.
I sure am.
Okay, good.
Okay, so
All right.
Oh goodness.
So these fuckers are huge, man. Like, I'm glad that you guys didn't look at this because I don't know if you know the numbers, but the Darger family, Joe, Vicky, Valerie, and Alina Darger, as an independent fundamentalist Mormon polygamous family living in Utah, which is apparently the only place that people can live like that.
I guess that's that's their
I've never heard
their
of
Mecca, their holy land. It's like Bethlehem for Mormons.
I've never heard of this.
You'll see, May, we can't pay the prostitutes or get the drugs if we don't have the money. Very simple.
Exactly.
Let's keep going here. So they went public after years of being secretive about their polygamous lifestyle to promote the decriminalization. So these people are actually like activists that are
Okay.
Let's fucking get polygamy out into the front of the conversation of the nation. Let's do this shit. As well as help reshape the perception of polygamy following the prosecution of Warren Jeffs, which brought polygamy to like a new level of awareness in people's minds.
Right.
And in 2013, the Darger family met with Utah legislators in an effort to persuade them to change the laws against polygamy in the state. So there's still like lobbying. So you ask why don't the cops just arrest them? Because there's people literally fucking lobbying for this. You know, I mean, like it's such a network of rub your feet, I'll rub. You know, it's horrible nepotism. I mean, as soon as you step in there, it's another world. Like even the cops are in it. How many cops don't have fucking huge families? I'd ask that question.
Right.
Aspects of the HBO series Big Love were inspired by the family, including storylines from the mirrored events of their lives. So they also have been featured on TLC's Sister Wives, which follows Browns, another polygamous family. They also appeared on TLC special Level 3. So they're like the darlings and activists of.
They're the face of the polygamy movement, right?
Speaking of which, there is this is a good one. So
Is it a great face?
Excited about this. This is called, you know me. This is called.
Oh my God.
Oh, there really is one. Okay, I thought I saw it all when I saw
Find your life partners.
Oh.
You trying to get a throuple together? You trying to get the band back together? You trying to meet new people that like different.
Casey, this is why you're a great part of this show.
Stable relationships, stronger families.
May says, "Who needs hookers?" And pot is just legal anyways. Get that, and the drugs you use. Yeah, it's true. We might need.
I want pot. I'm joking.
Double night. Oh, I just got like a meth shiver. Modern polygamy. I don't know if this is polygamy on the terms of like marriage, but like I guess it used to be like a Utah-based website.
Is it?
I don't know. Don't take candy from strangers. They have the most drugs in them.
Yeah, that's kind of the point.
I
Okay, we're off topic.
Way off topic.
Dance for us. Anyway.
As we're seeing the perfect picture of like, is this their asses?
Yeah.
Like,
if I told you like shoot me a picture as a photographer of polygamy, would it be?
No.
This would not be it.
No.
I mean, I could see this being polyamory, because they're all like hunky-dory, hugging, whatever. But I don't know. I mean, I know it probably, but polygamy to me, it has a religious connotation. Polyamory is like anti-religious connotation. Does that make sense?
It does. One sounds clinical, and the other one sounds like something you choose to do.
That's exactly it. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So our journey at modernpolygamy.com.
We started this set as a monogamous couple with beautiful dreams. We actually didn't start out as polygamists.
Oh, yeah.
When my husband claimed that sweet, strange pussy, that's when we knew we just needed to get one more mouth to feed in this house. ModernPolygamy.com is a dating site for polygamy. We started this site as a monogamous couple. I can't believe that.
With beautiful dreams.
Beautiful dreams. I can't believe it. And over the years, that's exactly what we watched happen in the world. Our family grew. We watch the other world our children will inherit devolve into something less than what we want for them.
Oh, Jesus.
We want them to find their own group to fuck and children.
Oh, Jesus.
You know, we're going to leave them a world bereft of
Jesus Christ.
Sister Wives. Oh, I remember that show too. Seeking Sister Wives. And it was crazy. Because the wife would actually, so the wife would actually hunt down a girl that she thought would be potentially for her man.
Nice.
And the man, so one of
the thought of that gives me in my stomach. No, it just makes me almost physically ill.
What are Sister Wives?
Why does he look like some Mexican actor we know?
These aren't real people. These aren't real people.
Come and enjoy Sister Wives. Me tengo muchos Sister Wives.
Look at him. He looks like some Rico Suave coming.
And look at the one in the back. She's like, this man is mine, but also hers.
And look at her. She's like, you touch him and I'm just going to kill you right here.
And the guy's like, see what I got? 2 girls. Look at that. Normal guys get 1 girl, but this, I'm better than you.
Oh,
Yeah, it literally makes my stomach my stomach turn.
My
It does. My stomach. It's a
stomach.
I
tummy
couldn't
and a
do it.
stomach all at the same time. It's a stomach.
Imagine how these chicks' stomachs feel.
I couldn't do it. I don't like to
No,
share. I don't like to. No,
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 You don't have to
mm-mm.
share. Okay.
No, I
no,
don't.
not one bit.
You
Nope.
couldn't watch your husband, your partner.
Nope.
What
No.
would that do? What would you have? Would that damage your relationship forever?
Mhm.
Yeah. Like you
Which
never
is
see that person
why I left my first husband.
painting, right? Just gross. You have
I
you have juice of another.
look, it's
I
one
just
thing that
can't.
if you they give you, hey, you know what, I want to have another person, then you have that option to say, okay, fine, screw it, right?
Yeah, but we
But
have to get it. We have to have that. It's like there's no no. It's like she's coming at 7:30.
no, no, I couldn't. No.
Okay.
Mm-mm.
Ugh.
Have you ever considered it? What and any iota? Have you ever considered it just for a second? Like, could I do this?
No, I know I can't. I have a visceral reaction to the thought. Again, my yeah, visceral reaction.
Let's
Yeah.
explore that for a second. So what? So Dave, what would Dave's type be if you were looking for another wife for him?
I'm
Just
not
wife. You to be.
No.
me. That's what it would be. Me.
Exactly.
We're not doing that.
A carbon
No.
copy of me.
It would be me.
Clone me.
Clone me.
It's a
And
robot
give me
of
ideas what
Sam.
to do with
I
it.
don't know what to do with two Sams.
If it's an exact duplicate, no, actually, no, I couldn't even do that. No.
No. It's a
No.
robot of Sam. That's it.
Not even that. I don't even think I want that. And if he does have it, I don't want to see it.
We need a new basement. I have to. Why? Don't worry. I just have to. There's like an army of sex robots down there. Hello, Sams. Hello, David.
No.
He wouldn't want them to id
Well,
him.
well, you should get your shit together because this is what a sister wife is. Okay, defined as a woman who's married to a man with more than one wife. Simple. Although the sister wife reference does not have some historical basis, primarily in the Mormon religion, it's a fairly new term. Thought. Though not used as polygamist, the phrase sister wife has become associated with all forms of polygamy through shows and blah, 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 because culture.
Mhm.
And the term sister wife was likely originally used to evoke a puritanical and platonic image of the relationship between wives in polygamy. So that's
Mhm.
something that we didn't touch on. This guy's getting all the play. The girls don't get together. Like the girls don't have a committee back and it's like,
They
hey,
don't.
you want to have a fucking tuna licking party later?
No, they
And they're like,
can't.
oh my god, I can't do that. Only one guy gets to fuck us all, and that's the difference, right? It's
The dynamic of it is fucked up.
plural
But it comes
plural
down to
relationships,
the manpower.
and just like an orgy scenario are very different. That's what I was trying to say. Yeah.
No, exactly. It's not a throuple. It is a sister wife. You know what I mean? It is the man gets all the fucking fun and the women have to suck it up and deal with it. It's bullshit.
Now, I want to know in this whole, are there ones that are men with men, women with women? Do you know what I mean? Is it just man with women?
In
Not
this
if it's in the
respect,
church.
I'm
I
sorry.
mean, is
go
there
ahead.
a family? Is there a family out there? I mean, I don't know. I haven't done my research on that. But is there a family out there that's polygamous, that's women with women, men with men?
I don't think in the religious form of it.
I mean, we're in 2024. Anything is possible
I don't
now.
think I don't think in this respect of the fundamentalist. I know, fuck. In this respect, I don't think so. I'm sure there are plenty of
Sorry.
those situations. I know.
And do
Is
they all
there
live in Utah?
is
I know.
Just-
I don't think that situation where it is, yeah, I think that's polyamory and that's consensual. I guess
Right.
that's what I'm trying to say. Jesus fuck. But I think
this is not my brain thinking.
I know. I think that's a polyamory thing, and yes, I'm sure that's happening plenty of times. However, in this respect,
About
I don't. In the
polyamory
religious form, yeah, in the religious form, it is it is male driven, and the man gets to have as many wives as he wants, and the woman has to be faithful to that one man. So
But then it comes back down to where the power of the man, the women are supposed to stay home and cook and do all the, you know what I mean? It
barefoot
goes
and
back.
pregnant.
Yes. So it comes back down to,
Make me a
hundreds of years or what perspective of, yeah. I need another shot.
I do too. I'm just pouring one right now.
I'm like,
It comes down to, are you going to make the sandwich or not?
look, you're
Which
gonna
is-
be making me and Sam a sandwich here in 2.5 weeks, okay?
Oh well, AC can do some chefy things, so he better make us some food.
And we lost him. Where'd he
Aw,
go?
aw.
He's already starting on our sandwich now. Please, no onions. No onions.
Oh, extra onions for me.
Oh my god, no onions.
Oh goodness.
Naughty puss.
I'll lie there while you eat me. Jesus Christ.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, well, this is
This
this
has
has
been
been a really
interesting.
good this has been a really good episode and conversation though. It just amazes me as women, Rose, and you've been in relationships where you are, whatever. You've been in bad relationships and whatever, so have I. But to
Me.
have them put, not you, I'm sure you have too, but as a woman to be put into that situation and expected to be barefoot and pregnant and, pregnant every year, in only living to serve your one husband who has multiple wives, it just fucking blows my mind. I just can't.
Because you have Western beliefs. Okay.
No, I can think for myself. And if I was in one of those, I would be the ones who were helping people get out. I know I would, because I would know it's fundamentally wrong to do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Especially when
Especially
you've
because I
already
have
been.
girls. I would not want my girls to be brought up in something like that.
No.
No.
My
My whole mission as a mom is to make sure my girls don't repeat my mistakes. And I'm sure they will. You know what I mean?
right.
But I
We just
don't
hope
want
and
them
pray
to.
that they don't. But at the end
Yeah.
of the day, we can just teach them the rights that, hey, you know what? This is the path this is what happens. I hope that you don't.
Yeah.
And we have faith and we hope that
I've
they
probably
don't.
given my kids too much information about my past, but I give that to them so they can hopefully learn from my mistakes and know not what to do. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
And
Definitely.
I don't know. Are we doing another shot?
Yes, we are.
It was on me. My bad.
Huh?
That was on me. Yeah. I cut out
No,
right
it's
away.
fine. No worries. Jeez
Open the
Louise,
fucker
that was
up.
aggressive, AC.
Right. Shut.
Shot.
Cheers.
To all the wives in Utah. Dear God,
Whew.
marriage in Utah.
All right.
The youngest marriage age allowed by law is 16.
That's typically the age of consent in most states, right?
Well, I
16.
know.
I lost my virginity at 13. I'm going to put that out there. I want to be crystal clear with you, everyone. Just put it.
Well, I
I
was
was
16.
18.
So
18.
someone abused me.
No, 17 going on 18.
Is that
And
someone?
was the person that you lost your virginity to the same age?
17.
Oh, look
Not
at
for
you.
me, no.
Did I get abused?
You could. I mean,
Not for me. Mine was
I think I got abused. She was
about 15 years older than me.
I was 16 and my boyfriend was 18 and he waited till it was 10 days after I turned 16. So I was the age of consent and he didn't get statutory.
sucks.
Well, and
Yeah. And I didn't quite want it at that point either, but it happened.
You
There
didn't
we
want
go. No.
but here's the thing. Okay, so now that that you're older, you look at that, right? And you're like, damn, I was really young. I was really naive. I should have known better. Yada, yada, yada. But would you take that all back if they said, hey, you know what? You could take all this back.
Oh, you froze.
Internet sucks tonight.
Yeah.
So 7% of children married between 2000 and 2018 who were girls wed to adult men.
77%
Age of youngest child
was
married
10.
10.
Jesus Christ.
Number of marriages 2000 to 2010 at spousal age difference that should have constituted in sex crimes. 151 different marriages should have constituted sex crimes.
Wow.
Is this for the whole nation or just
It's the state of Utah.
Utah.
Right.
okay?
Yeah, and around the nation, everything is minuscule compared to Utah, which is known for that.
Yeah.
The Olympics and Mormons and
But I
fucking.
thought but I also thought Vegas was also known for polygamy because
Never heard of that.
Mm-mm.
I also live in my.
well, the only reason why I heard that was because of the Sister Wives TV show. That's the only reason why, because I didn't know about it until that came on air, and that's how I heard. Because now
Did
they're
they
living
act-
in.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Sorry, I and now I don't know where they moved to a different state afterwards because
They're
know
all
why.
divorced now.
But,
Sorry.
but I thought that's why they moved to Vegas, because it was legal there, and that was another state that they could have polygamy going on. Now I don't quote me on this, but that's what I thought, because of the show. It was the only way they could film and still be polygamous, because they moved from one state to another.
No, okay. So the family began the series living in Lehigh, Utah, and moved to Vegas in 2011 and to Flagstaff, Arizona in mid 2018.
Yeah, that's where Jeff's, right? Like there was a major big sting operation that happened in Arizona.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've been fucking slacking on the videos though.
Kinda
So
have.
yeah, kind of have, because the conversation's so good.
Yeah.
Let's give let's get like a real accounting here. Hey, look at that, us live. I love that. I love seeing that on YouTube.
Yes, me too.
All right, let's go here. And is this I want to make sure it's not the good one. So many here. There we go. This is the one.
Okay, I'm just seeing the child marriage in Utah. If you're doing something else, there we go.
Okay, there
It's
we
up
go.
there now.
And have
Oh yeah,
three
she's
moms. And as
in
a
the
woman,
Jeff's, she was from the FLDS, right?
And she was hardcore in it. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
How I survived a cult. So these people are calling it a cult. Exactly what it is.
Mhm.
Oh, that's better.
inside of this religion, I was going to be a mother and have as many children as I could. And I knew that I was going to belong to a man who would have many wives. We were kept secluded from the outside world. We didn't go to public school. We didn't watch movies. We didn't have magazines. We didn't watch television. Everything about our lives were very much centered around our belief system. We would wake up first thing in the morning, and everyone in the family home would gather for prayer, and we would read all different kinds of scriptures from the Book of Mormon. And then we would get up, go to school, and immediately the first thing that we would have in school was more religious teachings. We would have our
And I just want to chime in here for a second about the religious teaching and how religion is so important. This religion, much like Scientology, I keep throwing it like that because it
it's very similar.
Was a guy who said that he found tablets in a hat.
Yes.
And it's extremely if somebody tells you the story from the outside, you were like, what? And you just believed him? You know what I mean? And you just believe.
Did he show them to you? You know what I mean?
He said that only God told him that he couldn't show them to anybody else.
Yeah, well, I mean.
Oh,
you just got to take my word for it.
God said it. I mean, what are you gonna do? So I wanted to set that, every time they mention religion, have that in your mind, they believe something akin to Xenu.
morning
Very
class,
much
which was
so.
all centered around studying the Book of Mormon, as well as preaching from the principal, who was Warren Jeffs. In our school, for the girls and boys, we were kept separate. The classes were in different parts of the building, because that was a part of our religious teachings, was the girls and boys do not fraternize in any way until they are sealed in marriage. In school, Our training as women started as early as 4th grade, where we would have what was called home economics.
Sandwich making. Sorry.
It's home economics. We gotta learn how to hang our fucking clothes and make the goddamn sandwiches.
Better make
And
us.
have them babies barefoot.
Okay, this is how you do
Okay,
it.
we use those clothespins in Mexico to do baby showers, all right?
You get the bread up, okay? Then the cheese. The cheese is the ultimate.
And in Mexico, we use those clothespins so how in a baby shower, so if you
Yeah.
how many you can put in a hand is the amount you're going to be able to hang up the baby's clothes. So you would want to make
Oof.
Oh,
So,
Jesus.
ready. We got home economics, not too much math or
You know, the important shit. I gotta darn my husband's socks to, make sure they're fine.
bitch, you don't gotta know how many planets there are. Just make the
Oh.
fucking sandwich, and these are called clothespins. Fuck.
look at the
Jesus.
clothing that they have, the clothing and the hair.
It's
all
very
of them
plain.
are
That's the
same.
difference between the Jeffs and the Kingstons. You know what I mean? The Jeffs is very more, reserved. If that
They're
makes
wealthy.
sense.
They can afford to be. They're wealthy.
Economic. And as we progressed in school with each grade, it was Warren Jeffs himself that was teaching the women this class on how to be
Oh, he's
women.
grooming
Now, for the
them?
boys,
Oh, the guy who's going to come and marry you later is showing you how to be
He's
a woman.
grooming them. Oh,
Those terms again, right? Those weird fucking terms we keep throwing around.
was different. They were getting a lot of teachings on what it meant to be what they called a priesthood man and what it would mean to have this power that was ordained into the men from the priesthood hierarchy. All of our lives really revolved around this concept that we were God's chosen people and that we were here to continue his work, and that everyone else was either an apostate or a Gentile. And a Gentile was the rest of the world, the people that had not been born into it, or who, the way that women are raised.
That's what Jews call other people, right? Gentiles.
Gentiles, yeah.
Inside of the FLDS, there's not a sexual education. The first time that I ever was exposed to sex was so confusing. And I remember just shaking as a leaf and just
My apologies.
begging it to stop, because I didn't believe that what was happening was right. I'm being educated through rape, then having religious leaders in my life who are furthering that education, and just instead of hearing me and protecting me, they were sending me back with words such as, you go home and you obey and you submit yourself to your husband, mind, body, and soul. Behind closed doors, it was so hard. There was extreme sexual and domestic abuse.
And there's sex, and then there's like rough sex, right? Then there's like once another spectrum, making love, all the way to like, I'm gonna pee in your mouth. That's like a big spectrum, right? So like I would imagine, I'm not gonna take a leap here. I'm gonna take a leap. See if you guys agree. I would say it's more towards the kinky side. What do you guys think?
Yeah.
Like it's not just like slow love making to make.
No, it's not.
No, I think they would. They would act out all their little.
You have
nastiness.
to. Yeah, you have to be my submissive.
Right.
Because you're my wife, and it's bullshit.
Seems like the piece of paper is just to like a license to fuck up another person, huh?
It's not even a piece of paper, right? Unless you're the first wife.
Yeah, because the rest
It's
they don't get papers.
Trust me, bro.
They would go to.
It's
to.
the
Well, what happened is,
it's the religious ceremony making you that.
and not even the religious ceremony, because remember they would go. I can't remember which one it was, if it was the Kingston or the Warren, but they would go to like some motel, and they would get. That's where they would perform their ceremony in a room, and that was it. And nobody, and it was only consistent of 4 to 5 people, and that was it.
Girls,
Pretty sure that was Kingston.
ladies of all ages, if you find yourself in a room, just some advice from your Uncle AC. I care about all of you. If you find yourself in a room, especially a hotel room or like a Motel 6, in some kind of a ceremony with a 35-year-old man, your senior.
I mean, were they checking the bed for blood, just like they did in the back in the day?
Have you said it before? Have you had your blood? Yes. Well, welcome to my
there you go.
Welcome to my family. You too have won the lottery.
As a mother of 2 daughters, right? I'm a mother of two daughters, an older one that she's 24, and my youngest is 5. I could not fathom. I just can't process it in my head as a mother to be look at my 5-year-old and go, that 85-year-old man's going to be your husband tomorrow. Do you know what I mean? Like,
I feel the same way. As a mother of 2 daughters, I could never do that to them.
no. Or my
No.
24-year-old going, okay, you know what? The 70-year-old is going to be,
Never.
granted, have I dated older men? Yes.
But that
I
was
have.
my choice and your choice.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I chose the people I wanted to date. I mean, my husband's 12 years
Right.
older than me, for Pete's sakes. The point is, I chose him, and I was an adult when I chose him. I was not a child, and I was not betrothed to him because I was whatever. I could never put my children in that.
It was your choice. However, sometimes when regionally and economically, you have to make certain arrangements to continue because you're not in a freaky fucking cult. You're not in a freaky religion that requires the compliance of people on like a separate level. Like it's not even like nowhere in society. If you look around, there's nothing like this, right? There may be, we just don't know about it. But this is something else. And once you're in that, there has to be some kind of a cloak, there's like cloak and dagger shit to make this work. Any religion that has to do that, guys, run. It's not like that. It's, I mean, I'm not a big religious guy, but like this that can't be the one out of Buddhism, fucking being a monk, fucking priest, Catholicism, Judaism, all everything. This can't.
I wouldn't use Catholicism as a good example.
Oh,
sorry.
One accepted religion, the one that's going to get me into the pearly gates.
Yeah.
The one I have to fuck a 13-year-old. Is this?
No.
No.
This makes my heart hurt.
Yeah.
It
Imagine
truly
her.
does.
Imagine this little chubby white girl right here.
And I think I think it touches our heart more when we have daughters, that if this is something we actually had to be raised in, and you look at you're looking at your kid going, this is what I would have to put you in. This is what I would have to do.
Yeah.
Knowing what we know, this is what and that, I think that's what stings more.
You have to have that while you're having birth to the girl. You have to think about, this is what I'm going to do to her. Like the whole pregnancy, I'd be like, oh shit, she's going to grow up to like marry my husband, or like, what I mean? Like you have to know that consciously, and you're consciously bringing someone into the world for their specific job, sandwich making.
But here's the thing too.
That has a visceral reaction for me right now. I mean, my eyes are welling up in tears thinking that I could never put my child through that. And I don't know how that happens.
You have to protect her from that forever.
But see, we are also, we're also blessed that we also get to see the world in a whole different view, which they don't. They don't get a book. I think the only movie they were allowed to see was they weren't allowed to see The Little Mermaid because The Little Mermaid had the little shells and she was in this little skimpy outfits.
She also went against her dad.
He's blocking out. You sure?
Winnie the Pooh was one of their biggest movies they were allowed to see. Was Winnie the Pooh. And I believe the other one was Sleeping Beauty was the other one, I believe.
that tracks. Because in the Hans Christian Andersen version, something very similar happened to Sleeping when she was in her deep slumber. That's all I'm just saying.
Funny how a lot of these things, remember, this is not the first time we talk about Disney fairy tales and shit. Like Gypsy Rose was all about, like, there's something with that and staying like a childlike innocence.
Don't ruin my Disney shit. No, just kidding.
No, Disney's not bad, but the Disney fairy tales are all, I mean, most of them are Hans Christian Andersen, and they're very dark.
Yeah.
Very dark.
Yeah.
It's especially Little Mermaid. You know what I mean? Very dark.
No,
I'm gonna tell you the truth. And this is because my kids, my boys have actually brought it up to me and said, Mom, did you know I didn't know half of the shit with Disney. If it wasn't for them, and this is only within the past, I don't know, year, I found out a lot of shit with them. And I'm going, shut up. So we would, we sit there, we start looking things up. I'm like,
oh,
so
like
naive.
The penis and the castle on the original.
I have the original one.
Did you
I
do. Find the penis?
I sure did. And a lot of them. I sure did. I have a lot of the original because those were one of my little brother's favorite movies. And so, yeah, man.
I mean, honestly, I do have a visceral reaction to any of this because I have kids and girls, especially. Yeah. So
at one point, we're gonna have to do a happy episode where it's just like sunshine and rainbows. But I
why? That doesn't get viewers.
Yeah.
That's kind of boring.
That's what my Wednesday night show is all about. I need to do something that's gritty.
Some grit in my life. Here we go. All right. Tonight we're talking
Except for Who's Coming With Me.
Yeah, we'll do Who's Coming With Me. I mean, whatever.
Yeah. Well, that's gonna get you into this heaven specifically.
Yes.
Plural marriage in the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, as explained to you by the Church of Latter-day Saints. You know, I like to go to their websites
Yeah. No, actually, it's the best way to get the information.
and all the lies that they're
Yes, exactly. The lies that you won't find on other things.
True. Let's see. How do they explain this? Latter-day Saints believe that eternal marriage of one man and one woman is the Lord's standing law of marriage. In the biblical times, the Lord commanded some to practice plural marriage of one man, more than one woman. By revelation, the Lord commanded Joseph Smith, the founder of Mormonism, to institute the practice of plural marriage among church members in the early 1840s. For more than half a century, plural marriage was practiced by some Latter-day Saints under direction of church president. Yeah, it's always a guy like doing this, like, hey, make sure to marry all these girls, you know.
But guess what? You know how you get your dick quick every night? You marry multiple women, because then you can have one every night and they can't turn you down.
Right. And plus God.
That's exactly how it works. And God says that's okay because you need your dick wet every fucking night. Okay. Sorry, I digress.
No, I'm with you.
One of them is not going to say my head hurts. All of them would be like,
oh, you guys have a group migraine? Fuck
yeah.
you. Yeah, right.
Fuck off. I'm fucking one of you.
okay, but here's the question.
It's your turn.
Yeah.
But aren't they supposed to treat them all the same equally, right? So what if 4 of them want it?
Hey,
you're screwed.
You should treat all your 4 kids the same, Rose, but you don't. I know you don't.
He's like,
I do too.
So if they all 4 want it, and he's like, all right, get in line.
Fine. Nobody wants to have sex tonight? Well, all of you are gonna come in the house. All 35 of you are gonna watch me masturbate.
Oh, fuck that.
You're like, fuck him, right? Yeah, like at least it's over in 3 minutes if he fucks me.
I feel like that would be a sin in this scenario, right? If you're spilling your seed and it's not producing.
I like what you did there. Sin area.
But you understand what I meant.
All right, we're coming up to 2 hours and 30 minutes.
I know.
Do you
we
guys
should.
want to?
We got about 8 minutes left, maybe.
So
yeah. Do you guys want to do another episode of this, or?
I'm down.
Well, let's let the people in the audience.
Yeah, you tell us.
You let us know. You guys want to do a part 2 to this? Let us know. You guys want a whole other scenario? We've got a couple different topics that we have lined up. We won't tell you what they are because they are a surprise. So you're gonna have to keep watching out for those other topics that we have. But if you guys want another one, let us know.
Yeah. I mean,
in the comments here in this video after the live, you can always come back and say, you know what, fuckers, I want you to talk about
XYZ. Whatever it is.
Yeah, whatever it's true crime. Nothing too fucking out there. let's
I mean, honestly, I love what we do, and I love the topics that we've chosen so far. I mean, Scientology and this, and Gypsy Rose, and I think that no, Dave, I already told them about that. Shut up. Sorry, but the topics that we choose are very multifaceted, and that we can have multiple shows on them. I mean, we could probably have 5 shows on polygamy and probably not even scratch the surface, right? But I mean, I love our takes. I love AC. I love how much I like that you ask the questions like, oh, is it all that bad? Or, let me have you look at the flip side. And Rose is like, you know what I mean? Here's these. And I love all of our takes on it. And I think we could, any topic that we have, we could do probably multiple episodes. So folks, tell us what you want. You know what I mean?
And I have a small list going of things for you guys because there's so much out there that would interest us. Also, whatever's in the news and stuff like that. But let us know and we'll talk about it.
Yeah, definitely. Please let us know. And you can always send us a message on Instagram. If you don't want to send it on here, you can go ahead and privately message us on Instagram. We'll go ahead and look at it.
Tiffy, thank you for leaving those messages tonight. It was really fun to have a different perspective. So
also thinking about opening a Telegram channel with this podcast name. So if anybody's on Telegram, can leave a voicemail,
Mhm.
send a picture,
Mhm.
send a link, anything like that. So that's fun. So if anybody has Telegram, I think we're going to do that too. And I'm going to talk Rose tonight into making a Twitch. So if you guys are on Twitch,
Oh,
Mhm.
that's a good idea.
you,
I think actually we are on Twitch right now.
you guys too. My Twitch, yes.
Yeah, well, we have a Twitch, I think
Oh,
maybe. I
yeah,
don't know.
you got to connect it to your fucking Roses Are Red.
Yeah,
Your
we got to do that. Yeah.
married couple Roses Are Red.
It's all over the place, and
Married Media Roses Red podcast.
Yes.
make sure, please follow us, all of us on all of our channels. We also have another channel that launched last week. Who's coming with me? Please make sure you guys give them a follow. I believe we're going to be doing that twice a month, either Wednesday or a Friday night, and it's going to be a hoot and holler. So
Yeah.
I am excited.
Yeah, we're
And,
gonna figure out what nights we do that. We're thinking maybe, I mean,
Bye, May.
Bye, May.
we're thinking maybe one night or 1 week, or sorry, we're doing it twice a month. One night we'll preempt Roses Are Red, and one night we'll preempt How Was Your Day. That way, we're not adding extra, but we can continue to have fun and laughs and whatever. But we'll figure that out on the back channels.
I
So.
love the dynamic though. We got the
Mhm.
mildly serious show, where we
Yeah.
talk about stuff. Then we have How Was Your Day, where it's a total interaction of people and their feelings and like midweek, like jittery,
Yeah.
like ready for the right. And then you got the
Who's coming with me?
literally. I got so drunk for the last one.
Oh, dude.
Oh yeah.
It was so much
Oh.
fun just letting go and not having to worry about, can I laugh at this or not? Should I say this or not? It was really fun. It was really fun to just kind of let go and have fun with our friends.
Yeah.
Well, and I love that we all have, a lot of people are seeing different views of us. Where
Facets.
we have, we have this one where we're serious. Some of us don't know how serious we are into these topics and how we actually, we really go into it and our thoughts and our theories on it. Then we have, you know what? We just don't give a shit about things, and we're gonna burst my bubble a lot of the times because
We're
there's a
gonna
lot
make
of
Rosa puke.
Yes.
I'm gonna double get you right into the grave.
Right. Right into the grave and figure out things in life, because I haven't figured out all those steps yet, but we're getting there, baby steps. And then we have the midweek, which is the Married Couple Podcast, which is an amazing show to listen to on Wednesday nights.
Oasis of a desert of a week. When you're having a desert of a week, that's where you drink from.
Yeah. So
Well, thank
definitely.
you.
And and it's great. And I'm thankful that you guys are on with me, and I am blessed that you guys are amazing friends, and more than friends, you guys are family. And 2.5 weeks, we are all going to be together.
Yeah. And we're gonna
Just
turn
so
on
excited.
We're gonna turn on some electronics. We're gonna go live. You're gonna see some weird faces. You're gonna see us doing
Yeah.
stuff and illicit things. So that's definitely gonna happen. And
Yes.
I'm thinking about bringing back Midnight Media pretty soon.
Yes.
I want to do a series on Vegas. I want to find the oldest, most salted Vegas people and put together like a history of Vegas through the eyes of like old dealers, old like dancers, like old like
Yeah.
bosses, pit bosses, casino managers, cocktail waitresses. Like,
You got to go to the graveside of Vegas.
I had a big idea about that, and I was like, you know what?
I
Maybe
think that's great.
live from the Boneyard, where I can show all the old signs of Vegas that they've torn down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, isn't that called the graveside?
It's called the Neon Boneyard, which is, or the Neon, yeah. And then, so like the Stardust and all those ones that they tore down, they take the sign, but they actually put it in this neon graveyard. And
man,
yeah,
that's gonna be great.
We do that when you guys come. We can tour that. It's just a little.
I would love to do that. We haven't done that since I've been there.
Oh, I'm so down for that. I'm so down for it. And plus, I'm not gonna have kids. I'm not gonna have a husband. I'm just going by myself.
Polygamist.
So yeah. So I'm ready to let
Are
loose.
you kids with your sister wife?
No.
No.
I mean, I'm just saying, if you were in a polygamous relationship, you would have more people to watch your kids. Just saying.
No.
You're like, I'm good.
Yeah. I'm not even going to think about it. I'm not even going to put it up. No.
That's on you, girl.
But definitely let us know what you guys want to hear, and send us a message. Thank you so much for interacting with us and hanging out with us and having a good time. Oh, I hope at least you did. Please share, like, and follow. And
Hit the bell so you get a notification for when we go on. It's usually
Absolutely.
Friday night, but one part of us is going to be online the better part of the week. We got Wednesdays, Fridays, alternate there, some weekend stuff. So we'll see you soon.
see you
Yeah.
soon, everyone.
What a great
Love
show,
y'all.
guys. Love you.